this is first. Yeah. That's it, yeah? People.
Hi Chris, we're ready to go here. Hello there. G'day Chris. I learned something just before, that our little modem thing doesn't like the sunshine. I was connected up and it was in the direct sunlight and all of a sudden it said, oh, I'm overheating. So, all good.
Look at this one.
It's a new era in Tasmanian football beginning here today at Youngtown with the NTFA Premier League and round one clash here between the home team South Launceston and Launceston, and games all around the north of Tasmania today to launch the new Premier League, and of course Division 1 and Division 2 got underway last week. Exciting times in Tassie footy, and we've got a good crowd in here today at Youngtown, and the atmosphere is really building towards the first bounce, which is 4 minutes away now. And my co-commentator this afternoon, welcome Macca.
Yeah, good afternoon Foz, and good afternoon to our listeners and our viewers on the live stream. Yeah, what a beautiful day it is here up at Youngtown, up at the Kennel. A very young, inexperienced 9 debutants for the South Lonnie Bulldogs today at home. Of course, the 2024 premiers in the old NTFA. This is the new NTFA, and Launceston. Well, they've got some great names back, Foz.
Absolutely. We'll go through some of those in a moment. Good afternoon to Groobs, our statistician. G'day, Groobs. Back for another year?
Yeah, great to be back, Dave.
Absolutely brilliant to have you on board once again. We'll get down to the middle of the ground. We've got Tony and Chris there, and I think Tony's got the microphones going to fire away first. Good afternoon. Welcome to Footy in 2025. Tony Webb.
Thanks very much, Dave, and it's a very good day to all our listeners and to co-commentators. The coin has just gone up, and South Launceston won the toss by kicking south with the wind. The wind, Chris will tell you a bit more about that. Ground's in pretty good nick. Expect a good game, but I suspect Launceston will probably win this by about 10 goals. Here's Chris.
Thanks, Tony. Chris, what do you got for us?
Yeah, interesting the ground. I think because we're used to York Park and Windsor Park. In the middle, the grass is quite short, but out on the wings and the flanks, the grass is quite long. It's sort of unusually long for a sort of an AFL standard ground, as I said, what we're used to at York Park. The wind is sort of favouring that southern end, but sort of going to that pocket on the far side. So it's sort of sweeping across the ground. So the wind, I think, will be a factor in this game. It's a beautiful 22 degrees. It's lovely down here. Welcome to the new season, fellas.
Yes, I know it's nice when you're rocking the shorts, Chris Sayers. Sounds very good.
It's a bit of a homecoming for me too. Old South boy from 20 odd years ago. It's a bit of a reunion for me in the sheds.
Yes, you'll be looking after the South team today, and Tony will be keeping an eye on Launceston. Yeah. Okay, we've had the toss. Harry Charlesworth won the toss, as the boys said, and they're kicking to the southern end of the ground. Yeah, Macca, look, the Lonnie team have really recruited well, haven't they?
Yeah, look, you made a comment off air when we got here, Foz, that maybe this team of Launceston is somewhat better than the team they had last year at the end of the TSL era. Like, it was only a few years ago we said that someone like Jake Hines was not only the best player at Lonnie, he was the best player in the whole competition there for a period of time in the TSL. Zach Morris, of course, came back to Tassie middle of last year, went to Longford. He's back at Launceston. He's a terrific player up forward. And Archie Wilkinson, Jacob Boyd back from Hillwood, and Jaden Hines as well there. And interesting players too. Some of the young guys I'm looking forward to see today, in particular Lucas Wooden,
yes,
who was up here at South for a little while. An old Launceston junior, has made his way back to Windsor Park, but he's in the AIS Academy, and he's a draftable hope this year.
And some youngsters making their debut, working their ways into senior footy for South Launceston.
Yeah, look, I've watched a lot of these boys over the years, way back from when I was doing Auskick up here, Foz, and it's great to see someone like Toby Morrison, Thomas Munting making their debut today, and the youngsters Max Dawkins and Max Matthews, two of our St Pat's lads.
So we're taking up our positions now for round one, the NTFA Premier League. Thanks for joining us on the live stream now on City Park Radio 103.7 and 96.5. It's great to cover footy once again in 2025. Been doing it since 2013, and it's going to be a great year. We're going to go to some new grounds and really enjoy the local footy week after week. And you can tune into our station so we cover all the action. Umpire right holds the ball aloft. Let's kick us off for 2025, Macca.
The season underway in the NTFA. Clark Williams up against Dylan Farquhar. Hines starting in the middle. They get the ball out through Graham. Over to Holt. Inside 50, the first one there for Dave Gruber. Goes to South Lonnie. Farrelly on the up. Goes back to Fraser. He twists and turns. Goes backward again towards one of those youngsters in Graham. Premiership player from last season. Ball comes up. Half forward, they get the ball out through half back, and they'll look to run. Lucas Wooden, one of those players. Ball comes deep. Good spoil, could have been taken on the second grab. Harry Charlesworth.
It's a mark for mine.
It was a mark. Way over the other side here of Youngtown, the umpire, Ollie Wright, is going to ball it up. So far side of the ground here, the boys mentioned the wind is sort of going to go that direction towards the big gum tree in the corner here at Youngtown, for those that have been here before. At south eastern side of the ground, and the umpire's going to ball it up again. It's a good matchup. Brendan Taylor up against his old teammate in Jake Hines in the middle of the ground. Clark Williams taken. Umpire says, I'll have it again. So there is a real interest, Foz. There's a lot of cars around the ground. They're populated. A lot in the grandstand.
The canteen was full of people, which was great. So we've got a...
You're looking for a canteen sponsor this year, Foz? In the NTFA?
Yes.
Anyone listening that would like to sponsor Foz? Personal sponsors for you.
That's right.
We'll talk about other sponsors later, but of course you need it. Those coffee sponsors. Umpire says holding the footy as Launceston look to take it forward. And it's going to be a free kick in the back line now to South Launceston.
Might be Sam Main back there.
Sam Main.
He kicks off half back, kicks up the wing. Off hands, out the back, taken. Swung in the tackler's Boyd back in the Blues colours. Out it comes here towards Ryan Shipp, who spent a year last year at Bridge North.
I think it was one of the youngsters, Thomas Munting, in fact, falls off half-back.
Good work.
One of those Auskick boys that I had back in the day.
So from the stoppage, the back pocket, taken by Polfreman. Handball over the top, taken by Wheeler. Further on out of Jake Hines, just burst through a tackle. But wasn't bad there from the South Launceston player in the Grant Holt, because it did stop his progress up the wing. So it'll be another ball up. So no score as yet in the game. We've got a free kick coming back here to Grant Holt.
Coach for the day, Foz?
Yes. So Grant Holt on the left foot, kicks towards half forward. Nice ball from behind there. Out of play by Seth Pfeiffer into that big gum tree.
And that's where South Launceston don't want to get stuck, Foz. Over there under that gum tree. You could live over there for 5 or 6 minutes. They need to get the ball to this side of the ground if they look to attack for the goals. Boundary throw in front of that gum tree. Williams and Farquhar, two good youngsters of the competition in the ruck. Farquhar coming back from Bridge North, the Paris, where he had an excellent season last year. Greatly improved.
He's a player you've followed since his younger years.
My word. Yeah, he's done really well. Stripped a lot fitter the last couple of years. Polfreman gets a free kick off half back. It's a good spoil over the back there to Tommy Graham.
Some early stats, Dave Gruber. It's all the South way at the moment.
No, just the 2 inside 50 so fast played to South.
Been between the arcs a fair bit.
Boundary throw in, far side of the ground here at Youngtown. All the spectators in the shorts and T-shirt. Early April. Boundary throw in. Farquhar gets it nicely down, looking for Hines, but they've stolen it here now to Graham. Inside 50 with that breeze. Lee looks to be the target. The ball goes out of bounds near side. Tommy Graham, good start in the famous number 3 jumper up here. Of course, Jade Elmer and more recently the nephew in Jay Blackberry wearing the famous number 3.
Got a bit of trivia about Jay Blackberry in a moment. We'll might get down to Chris Sayer at the next stoppage. He's got a little bit of news down there. So boundary throw in. It's Tina McCormack with the front position. Over the back though, winning it was Ollie Alexander. Tackle late. Chris, if you've got the microphone, I think we've got a runner down there of note today.
Yeah, Jay Blackberry's the runner for South up against his old team. So that's really interesting. And recently too. So, yes, he's on Jay Blackberry's South runner.
Here's Wooten. He takes the ball from half back. Good user. Looks for Conway. Good to see him back in the Lonnie Blues colours after a couple of years of injury. Of course, Ethan Conway being part of the Hadsman Premiership side in the cricket circles over summer.
Yes.
Looks really fit. Was a talented youngster back in the under-16 days, Foz. Gillow gets the ball on the up. Here is Hines. Can't pick it up, so he goes off the ground. They bring it up to half-forward. Boyd goes over the top once again by hand. They're starting. Here's Hines on the left. Jake Hines. Here's Hyatt. Benny Hyatt. Dangerous. Good tackle, South Launceston. Ball up just inside the 50 for Dave Gruber. Inside 50s, Launceston. That was their first, David. There you go.
From the ball up, Conway wins the tap out here with Polfreman, can't take it with him. Handball inside from South Launceston, taken by Gillow, slams on the left foot. Chaos ball, Hyde in there working hard. Doing well though for South Launceston there was Logan Smith. They clear it out. Out to the outer side, Brock Kenny pursuing the ball, takes the ball, little handball, tries to find advantage, can't do so. They dive in on the far side and it will be out of bounds. I tell you what, Macca, South would be very happy with the start of this game.
Well, they would, and they've got that sort of scoring end, but they definitely haven't done too much wrong apart from not being able to hit the scoreboard, Foz, which they need to do. They've held them up. Ball up. Goes with the wind, goes a mile to the wind, and the umpire says, we'll probably do that one again. That might be an indication.
Yep. Just while we're getting the ball back, earlier scores today in the under-18s. South Launceston 8-10-58 defeated Launceston 3-11-29. And a thriller in the Development League, it was Launceston 8-9-57, South Launceston 8-4-52. There's a boundary throw in as we've retrieved the ball. We'll get down to Chris Starr in a moment, who's got some more news for us. Difficult day for boundary umpires. Jake Hines lays a tackle from behind. Chris, what do you got for us down there?
Toby Morrison's just come onto the ground. He's one of the many debutants for South. He's just come onto the ground.
Excellent. We'll keep up to date with those debutants. There's a few today between the two teams. There's a heavy tackle laid. So Launceston just can't get any run going at the moment. And South have been great around the contests. As it comes out here towards Palfreyman, kick semi-smothered. Play on, will say the umpire. They can't get effective possession. Players diving in left, right and centre, and we'll get a ball up on the wing. Here's Matthew McGee for City Park Radio Sport. There's no score as yet.
I like the early efforts of Clark Williams in the ruck, competing really well against Farquhar. Here's Fraser. Hold it is, in fact, on the up to Taylor. Just to the top of the 50. Beaten for the ball there. Coming out is Seth Pfeiffer. He takes it 10 metres Launceston's way. It comes out the back. Here's Farrelly with that blonde M&M type hair. And it goes out of bounds.
I'm interested to see Hunter Farrelly. He made his debut with North Launceston as a real youngster. Showed some promise.
They come from half back. Goes short to Palfreyman. Launceston. That was Wooten. Ring the ball. In fact, it was Ship. Comes forward now. That's a tunnelling free kick to Lockie Plunkett. Here's Angus Jeffries to Morris. To Jeffries. He's a creative play. Gives it to Gillow. Gillow left foot. Inside 50. They fly over the back. Hines it was. Couldn't take it. Top of the square. It rushes through towards goal. Which way is it going to bounce? Ollie Woodcock-Davis sees it through for it behind. Angus Jeffries is a terrific one, Foz.
Yes.
We've seen him at North and Launceston and then via Hillwood. But he's a player I've really liked over the years. Terrific runner and good ball user.
The scorer of that behind was Ben Hyde. He's going to be dangerous in the forward 50 today. Long kick out of defence. Gee, that's a nice mark, Avery Thomas, the young devil. It's food for the ball nicely now. Getting across the mark there was Holt. Gets it back again, Avery Thomas. Second smother in about 2 seconds. Jake Hines tries to fist the ball away. Taken there for South Launceston by Alex Towns. It's on the outer side now. Wasn't a great kick. Picking it up, it's Pfeiffer. Gets around, gets tackled, affected the kick.
Yeah, good work, Max Dawkins.
Bouncing ball over there on the far side. Pursuing it there is Alex Blackerby on debut for Launceston. Keeps the ball in. Inside 50. Can they pick it up? Tackle laid. Munting again. Swung in the tackle, but had the poise to get the ball away. Here's Farrelly now on the blonde hair. Handball over the top. Can they string a few together here? It's going to come here through Grant Holt, through the middle. He's got players running for him. And it's going to be a mark here to Toby Morrison. And might be 50 as well. That's what the crowd want. But umpire Wright says no. But on debut, famous name at South Launceston, Macca, the Morrison name.
Yes.
And it's Toby now in possession. And with the breeze behind him, he's 40 metres out, should make the journey.
Son of the great Adam Morrison. And I've seen Toby play a bit too, Foz, and that's his game. He loves to sneak forward. He's a basketballer as well, and he gets on that fast break, like on the basketball court, gets ahead of the footy, and does love a goal. Let's see what he can do.
Toby Morrison for the first goal in NTFA Premier League footy. There it is! History is made here at Youngtown Oval. Toby Morrison calmly puts it through, and South Launceston are now in front. 1 goal straight 6. Launceston 1 behind 1 point. And that was a great passage of play through the middle, Macca.
Yeah, well, it was thoroughly involved with Holt, wasn't it? It was a terrific release play off half-back, and both teams trying to do things. Just want to take you back.
He's got players running for him, and it's going to be a mark here to Toby Morrison. And might be 50 as well.
He's got terrific sideways movement, Max Dawkins, in the state under-16 squad.
Also take you back to the smothers on Avery Thomas there. 2 in a row.
Yeah, Avery just had to be aware of who was around. Yes. It was an awesome mark, and Holt, it was just standing, and then the umpire called play on, so he was allowed to be there.
Inside 50's Dave Gruber.
5 for South Launceston, 4 for Launceston.
Okay, so we've got Ollie right now. The umpire throws it up. Contested footy here now, taken away. And handball was semi-smothered there by Wooten, so they bring it away, South Launceston. Up here to Morrison again, slight fumble, has assistance. Gets it away there to Alex Towns, who's tackled immediately.
Another debutant, South Launceston Junior Foz, Alex Towns. Amazing endurance runner, really competitive.
So these youngsters just bring a little bit of an imprint on the game here in this first quarter. Quick kick away there by Tom Graham. Contested footy. It's the Launceston defence work overtime here. They'll work it out here through Pfeiffer. And might have been out of bounds before he kicked it, it was. So a boundary throw in.
Really good start. South Launceston, competitive around the stoppage. Scoreboard, Rick Costello showing me here, the man up here with the buttons. He's saying 10.5 minutes, nearly 11 minutes gone, Foz, on the iPad. Rick Costello proudly displaying the Collingwood cap. He's up and about. Got good recognition, Rick Costello, this year up at South. 20-odd years in the job, Foz.
Best in the business.
Let's not go that far, but no, he's good now. NTFA's number one. It's a free kick here at the stoppage while we've been wrapping up Rick Costello up in the scorebox, and it's Nicholas Kruger. So Kruger's going to have a free kick about 40 metres out when he kicks towards the road end here, southern end of the ground. Winnity's back, starts at left, it's going to go left, it's not going to make it, is it? It is, it's a point as it goes over the top of Matty Lee there. See Matthew Lee over the years, Foz, kick a few goals for South London, especially in those finals.
Short kick out. Comes out for Launceston. Mark taken there by Zach Morris. Looks for Jeffries on the wing. Getting in the way was Fraser with a lovely spoil. Shark kick, that was Jake Hines. Back to Jeffries. Gets handball over top to Blackaby. He has support from Conway. Conway now kicks up towards half forward to Ben Hyatt. Great kick, Conway. Hits Ben Hyatt on the chest. There's a couple of kicks out from goal. Wheels and goals to the hot spot. Getting back there was Archie Wilkinson. But great defence there for South by Seb Page, the youngster, who sees it through for a behind.
Yeah, premiership player as a young age, 17-year-old, now 18, Seb Page. I find Zach Morris an interesting one, Foz. We saw him come back last year for Longford and kicked many goals. They start him off half-back, where we know he can play as well, but when do you throw him forward and get the goals kicked? If he does throw forward, the South London coach is going to have to watch that one. It's kicked out. It's going to only go as far as Avery Thomas on the far side. He comes inboard and finds Boyd. Geez, they love having him back, don't they? Boyd. It's only a couple of years ago he actually had a game with North Melbourne in the VFL. Quality player. He's gone short on that occasion.
15, I think the umpire said.
No, about 10.5 was.
Yes.
Been a contentious issue in the AFL early. Not contentious, I think it's good. They chip the ball around, make the kick a little bit further. If it's in doubt, call play on. Dawkins finds the footy. Jaden Hines pushes him into the ground. The umpire says play on. There's a couple of little afters. Hines says, I'm the older bloke, you're the young bloke, and I'll rub your head into the turf as the ball goes out of bounds.
It's been touched off the boot, so it's a boundary throw in centre wing. If you just joined us, the score is South Launceston 117. Launceston 2 behinds 2 points. It's a City Park Radio 103.7 and 96.5. Today's broadcast brought to you by Elgas for your LPG needs statewide. Talk to the locals with knowledge. Phone 13 11 61. From the throw-in, Jaden Hines has been busy. Gets it back now to Thomas, also been busy. Inside 50, Wilkinson's there. Conway's there, taken over as Hyatt. Crafty effort from Ben Hyatt, but just off to the right.
You called it, Foz.
He reads the ball so well off those contests.
Yeah, you called it like it's so dangerous, isn't he? When that ball hits the deck.
3 behinds now, Launceston. South Launceston 117. Matthew McGee for City Park Radio Sport.
Ollie Woodcock-Davis. Great to see him back at the club, even though he's a premiership player. He did leave for a short time. Wanted to go down the bay to St Helens, but came back. Back to the Dogs. Great for them. Kicks the ball long and deep towards the boundary line. Brendan Taylor and Jaden Hines. Once again, former teammates at Launceston.
The thing this will do for South Launceston this first quarter, those youngsters will know they can compete. When you come into a game like this, now, am I going to be good enough? Am I going to be able to play on these Launceston experienced players? And they've done it well so far.
Yeah, and then the question is, how long can they compete for? Can they compete for the 4 quarters? Because that's what it'll come down to. They twist and turn here. Launceston goes short to Wilkinson.
Might be
Lockie Plunkett. He's a big boy now, isn't he, Lockie Plunkett? Scott Jokeburn, student. He looks big. I thought it was the size of Archie Wilkinson.
Yes, I agree. Still at school, is he, Lockie?
Yes. I think he'll be grade 12 this year, maybe 11 at Scott Jokeburn. So boundary throw in, where the 50 meets the boundary in front of the scoreboard here, which says South Launceston lead by 4 points. Boundary throw in, Farquhar out of the ruck, kicks it forward. Where's it going to fall? Spinning, Wooten by hand. Goes as far as Dawkins. He has an airy. Good defensive effort from Hunter Farrelly. And it's still on the 50. It's a ball up.
So ball up. Been a congested game at times. And we get a free kick from the contest going South Launceston's way. Going to Clark Williams. He handed the balls it straight way to Hunter Farrelly. Had a little bit of a fumble. Now it's wider. They work it by foot to the wing. Mark taken there by Matthew Lee. Matthew Lee has to play on. Kick now under pressure. Gets good distance with it. Out the front there. And take the mark is Kruger, who had a shot on goal from the opposite side of the ground here just a short while ago. Now he's looking to play on. He does now. Gets on the right foot. Kruger. Is he allowed for the breeze? It's over the top. So it's a mark inside the line there by Toby Morrison. Let's see. The umpire's paid it. Yes, so Morrison taking the mark. He's already kicked one in this quarter. So a chance here for the second. He runs around, snaps, and misses to the near side. Toby Morrison, 1 goal, 1 in the first quarter. And it's 1 goal, 2, 8 points South Launceston. And Launceston 3 behind, 3 points. Back up.
Boyd with a kick in, goes short. Finds Morris. He goes short. Barely the distance. Finds Hines. Jake Hines, that is, goes back to Morris on the run. Half a training drill here. Morris, it was a shanky kick. Finds Thomas, though, by luck. Farquhar, good below his knees. Thomas went to barge in and has to nearly be holding the ball. Umpire Rick Costello agreed next door. He dumped the shoulder in and he didn't really try and get rid of it. But once again, good defensive pressure. Holding the ball in, looking for repeat 50s for Dave Gruber. Farquhar, beautiful ruck tap down to Jaden Hines. Ball goes out of bounds in front of the Launceston bench.
We might get to some stats from Gruber.
Yes, please.
Inside 50 South, Launceston 7 to Launceston 6. Clearances, Launceston on top 9 to 6. And Launceston going very well in the hit-outs, 15 to 6 so far.
Yeah, Farquhar just starting to come into it a bit the last 5 or so minutes, Farquhar. So, boundary throw in. Williams and Farquhar goes over both of them. Back of the pack, reading it well was Lockie Presnell. Tried to go by hands to Faulkner. Didn't find him. Coming through from half forward there is Archie Wilkinson. On the up, Faulkner. Farquhar good again. Look at the big fella twist and turn. Goes over the top and gives it to Wheeler off half back. They go wide though to Launceston. Overlooking for Lockie Plunkett. He overruns the footy. It comes back and North Launceston defence do well through the player in Sam Main.
Sam Main for South gets it over towards the wing, and the wind again just taking that ball every time to that side of the ground. We've barely seen any play here on the commentary side, so the binoculars have been in use. So boundary throw-in. So just to get the time clock gone in the quarter, Macca, 18 minutes. So Launceston in possession. Gets it now to Jaden Hines. Jaden Hines twists and turns, kicks smothered. Taken there by Faulkner. He's tackled. He coughs it up to Taylor. Taylor inside 50. There's a one-on-one battle here at full forward. Trying to take it there. I think it is Lee, is it?
Ollie Alexander.
Ollie Alexander. Thanks, Macca. He guts the handball away. No one can take effective possession. Now, the holding on free kick. It's going the way of the Blues as they all get up. And it's coming back here to Seth Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer spots up a short option and finds Jeffries. Jeffries is on the paint of defensive 50 against Ollie Alexander.
He came from the back of the mark and not allowed to do that in the protected zone. South are going to get someone on the mark here ahead of the footy. Taylor needs to, Towns needs to stay out.
So Dawkins now takes the mark. Jeffries, 60 out from goal, has a leading player. Jake Hines can't quite get there. He's got the recovery. Funny old handball taken by Charlesworth, the skipper. He hacks it away. In pursuit here is Clark Williams, the big ruckman. He's beaten to it though. Taken there for Launceston by Farquhar. He can't escape the contest. Gee, it's heavy going in there, and it's got a holding the man free kick. So Clark Williams,
been good, I reckon.
He is on an improving trend. The big fella, as often big fellas do. And he kicks it up towards half forward. Off hands of Pfeiffer and Lee. Lee has a bit of recovery, picks it up, shrugs a tackle or two. Might be holding the ball this time. He didn't shrug the second tackle. So back to Pfeiffer, who's been busy in this quarter.
Seth Pfeiffer. Laconic goes sideways. They go sideways again. Atkins to Morris. Morris, dodgy looking kick, puts his teammate under pressure. That was Lockie Plunkett. And they've stopped the ball well here again, the Bulldogs on centre wing. Not letting it Launceston run it off half back. Max Matthews could be playing a defensive type role on Zach Morris forward here.
Son of Jason.
Yes. Terrific play back in the North Launceston era. Here's Wooden. Looks good, doesn't he, Foz, when he gets the footy.
Moves
Comes
nicely.
forward. Wilkinson. Just not bouncing Launceston's way at the moment. Inside 50. Jake Hines out from the square. He bullocks his way through. As we know he does. Here's Pulfreman on the right. Pulfreman misses. 4 behinds the Blues. They trail by 4 points. It's 1-2-8 South Launceston. Launceston 4 behinds.
21 minutes in, and Launceston haven't hit the scoreboard as far as goals are concerned just yet. And South Launceston coaching hierarchy will be really impressed with that. They've got to goal themselves the other way. They lead by 4 points. NTFA Premier League today, we've got Scottsdale and Deloraine, and also North and Longford are the fixtures. Short kick comes in, effectively, there from Ollie Woodcock-Davis. He was rumoured to be going to the East Coast Swans, but he's back. He gets the kick back again. Is there a story there, Macca?
No, as I mentioned about 5 minutes ago, Foz.
Did you? I wasn't listening.
No, you never do.
Sorry. Tom Graham now with the ball.
New year, but some things stay the
That's
same,
right.
Foz.
I'm a busy man when this broadcast is happening.
You don't listen to me.
No, Tom Graham up the wing, over the back. Matthews there through his hands. Spills out. Taken by Morris. Handball over the top looking for Atkins. Taken though by Presnell. Presnell on the left foot. Kicks to half back, but they've done pretty well back there. And Tom Graham is one of the best, I think, for South so far. Macca takes the mark.
Tommy Graham goes long with that breeze. Hold. If he gets some space, he'll duck. He'll dive. He'll go. Who's he got on the far wing? He's got a Bulldog teammate. Let me get the goggles up, Foz. Number 10. It's Sammy Lucas running on the far wing, and they get out over the back. Holt involved again. And as you mentioned, Tommy Graham.
Yep, he's been the engineer.
Yeah, looks fit. A couple of years up here in the senior sort of squad. Just development. And Graham ends up on the chest of Sammy Lucas. So Lucas, he runs out on the arc. It looks pretty good. It's going to be a good goal. It's a goal to the Dogs. It's a goal to Sammy Lucas. And now they lead by an even 10 points. 2-2-14, South Launceston. Launceston 4 behinds. 22 and a half minutes gone. Dave Moore.
Yeah, look, they've got some space. South Launceston.
4 marks inside 50 to South Launceston. 2 of them for goals.
And Launceston?
No.
No.
Right.
And this is it, isn't it? Like we've seen, they're dangerous up there. They've got Hyatt, Conway, especially when Jake Hines goes forward. South defenders have done really well getting those fists in.
Umpire Oliver Wright.
The big streak, look at him.
Son of Anthony, up it goes. Off the tap, it comes now to Jake Hines. He's moved himself into the middle just to get a little bit of drive there. He did get the clearance. Not effective. Out the back to Holt. Handball sideways there. Finds Logan Smith. Smith back to Holt. Not a great handball. Holt makes it look okay. Little chip kick. And I think that's young Munting over there, number
yes.
83.
South
Big
London.
numbers today. Munting. Not a great kick. Might be intercepted here. Or off the hands of Jacob Boyd. So still a chance for South. They can't quite get it now. Tina McCormack gets it away. They get the handball wide now to Jake Hines. He's got options. He goes wider still and finds Gillow on the far side.
Once again, it was excellent clearance and movement from Wooten, Foz. He just cleared that ball. Maybe something to keep an eye on.
Now he lays a tackle.
Oh, they got the kick. Comes out the back. Goes wide. Holds again. He's got Fraser on if he wants to go there. He doesn't. He goes shorter. He finds the player there. Munting. He's still got Fraser on. They ignore him. They go direct. 1-2. No, well done. Avery Thomas with the floating mark. He does that well. Goes to Morris.
3 marks in this quarter for Thomas.
Morris goes deep, kicks it well, and goes to Lockie Plunkett, far wing. They've turned it over though. Well done. Page by hand. Over the top. Here's Holt getting plenty of the footy.
He's had over 10 possessions.
Goes to that near pocket. Well done. Launceston.
Nice mark.
As they come up, it's Zach Morris. He takes a good mark with those big mitts.
Morris with the 45 kick. Gets it now to Jacob Boyd. Still inside defensive 50. How long have we gone, Macca?
We've gone 25.
25 minutes. So we've got time on this year in the NTFA Premier League. We've got Presnell now. Gets it to Paul Freeman. Back to Presnell. No, he decides to go himself. Kicks to half forward. Wilkinson. Well set up here, but in front Couldn't quite take the mark with Woodcock Davis. Back now to Tom Graham. Doesn't waste any time. Throws it on the breeze down the wing. A chance here to Palfrey and go. Palfrey's the call below us. Now Boyd kicks inside 50. Chance here. Oh, gee, we clash of bodies. Wilkinson came across the front. The heavy tackle laid there by Grant Holt. He's just doing everything at the moment. Yes,
full credit to Seb Page there. He was one that threw himself back into the pack. So ball up on the 50. South wouldn't like Launceston to get a goal here in red time. We're into time on. A couple of minutes left. Ball comes over the back. South Launceston kick it forward through Smith, but turn it over. And it's Boyd. So battle of the half-backs at the moment. The strength of Boyd and Morris holding things up for Launceston. Hines. Ball under Graham. They sit and look at the balls. It's in the middle. Hines gets it. Oh, he drops it when he went to kick it. Goes over the top by hand. Well done again, Seb Page. He twists. He turns. He comes inboard. Graham fumbles. Comes down the wing. They've done okay to get out of it there, but once again it's Boyd. So Boyd, he'll stand. They go into the centre square. Finds Pulfreman. Sunscreened up today. Gillo wants the left. Can't do it. Goes back to Pulfreman. He twists and turns. He puts the Jets on. Does the veteran in Pulfreman. Forward pocket. Well done again, the South London defenders. I just feel that Launceston are going to get a goal here, Foz. The ball comes out. Oh, no, holding the footy. So there they go. They've done again.
Against Plunkett.
They've done well again, South Launceston.
Relieving free kick. The last line of fence, and it's a skipper Charlesworth in that back pocket. He goes wide, close to the boundary line. Over the head there of Matthew Lee, and out of bounds. Well, we've certainly got a contest, Matthew.
Just that half-back line of Launceston at the moment, just a little bit taking a few too many uncontested intercept marks. So
Thomas,
South,
Boyd, Pfeiffer.
South just need to maybe just lower the eyes a little bit. They're trying to get the ball in. They've had a few chances.
Farquhar up against Ollie Alexander. Falls well short. I think they're going to go again with the boundary throwing.
Minute left.
Gumacker, minute left. In this really interesting first quarter here at Youngtown Oval. Early start today, warm autumn day, 22 degrees. Front position Farquhar, out to Jaden Hines, he's tackled by two. Gee, their pressure's been good, the Bulldogs. Out the back here, trying to take it was the player there in Alex Towns, he couldn't pick it up. Flicks out the back, Presnell, he's under pressure from a couple of South players there, in particular Fraser, out of bounds. Dying seconds of this quarter, 2-2-14 the Bulldogs, the Blues 4 behinds, 4 points. You're enjoying it here on City Park Radio and the NTFA Premier League live stream. So taking possession there is Alexander, he's crunched illegally, says the umpire. Get a free kick, needs to move it quickly. There's not enough time left in this first quarter. Ollie Alexander spent some time in the ruck and up forward. Kicks long towards the boundary line on the outer side. With a whistle on play, and it's against South Launceston, going the way there of Zach Morris. 45 kick finds Presnell. Blocky Presnell. And he's got Thomas, who's a bit lazy approaching the ball there. Nearly spot for Ryan. He's got it though. On defensive 50. He plays on now. Unsure. Puts himself under pressure. And that is quarter time here at Youngtown Oval. And some warm applause there for the local team, the home team, the Bulldogs, because they lead 2-2-14 to Launceston, 4 behinds, 4 points. Back at the goal kickers.
Goal kickers, Sammy Lucas and on debut, Toby Morrison. They're the single goal kickers for South Launceston.
Before we go for a break and a few messages, just quick thoughts on that first quarter.
Yeah, look, terrific South Launceston. I think the wind is going to make a bit of a difference, and I'm going to be interested to see what both teams do this quarter. South have found themselves with enough of the footy. Their pressure around the football is doing amazing. And just the fists in, the Seb Pages, the Ollie Woodcock Davises, the mains down back. Just the ability to put a fist in, the pressure on Jake Hines, leading out each time. And for Launceston, it's that half-back line. It's Morris, it's Boyd, Pfeiffer that have sort of held up a little bit there. I reckon South would have liked probably another couple of goals. I reckon they had a couple of chances just in the last 5 minutes where they may have been able to hit their forwards up a little bit and go a little bit more direct, lower the eyes. I mentioned Fraser was on his own for about 30 or 40 metres and they missed him. So look, a really competitive first quarter. When you have youth and 9 debutants, to have that effort around the footy has been excellent. Both teams are going to, you think they'll fatigue late with the weather and the heat and obviously being the
Round
first
one,
game.
yep.
Yeah, being first game. So look, really interesting. I thought Farquhar and Big Clark Williams had a great battle in the ruck. Farquhar probably more of a footy, but on debut, I'm thinking that the youngster in Williams has done a pretty good job.
Matthew McGee for City Park Radio Sport. Grooves, we'll get through your stats quickly.
Hit out South Launceston 6, Launceston 21. Clearances, Launceston had 13 to South Launceston's 8. Inside 50 is pretty even, 12 to South Launceston and 11 to Launceston. South Launceston took 4 marks inside 50 to none for Launceston. Intercept marks were South Launceston 1 and 6 were taken by Launceston. Free kicks, South Launceston 7 and Launceston 6.
Thanks, Dave Grubers. Some interesting stats, and South Launceston certainly having an impressive first quarter there. We'll take a short break here on City Park Radio. When we come back, we'll hear from the boys on the boundary and set the scene for the second quarter.
Launceston and then via Hillwood. He's a player I've really liked over the years. Terrific runner, a good ball user.
Score that. An NTFA Premier League footy. There it is. History is made here at Youngtown Oval. Toby Morrison calmly puts it through, and South Launceston are now in front. 1 goal straight 6. Launceston 1 behind 1 point.
40 metres out when he kicks towards the road end here, southern end of the ground. Winnety's back, starts at left, it's going to go left, it's not going to make it, is it? It is, it's a point as it goes over the top of Matty Lee there.
He sees it through for a behind.
Yeah, premiership player as a young age, 17-year-old, now 18, Seth Page. I find Zach Morris an interesting one, Foz. We saw him come back last year for long.
The ball so well off those contests.
Yeah, you called it like it's so dangerous, isn't he? So that ball hits the deck.
3 behinds now, Launceston. South Launceston 1-1-7. Matthew McGee to the near side. Toby Morrison, 1 goal, 1 in the first quarter. And it's 1 goal, 2, 8 points, South Launceston. And Launceston 3.
On the right, Paul for a man! Misses. 4 behinds, the Blues. They trail by 4 points. It's 1-2-8, South Launceston. Launceston 4 behinds.
20.
So Lucas, he runs out on the arc. It looks pretty good. It's going to be a good goal. It's a goal to the Dogs. It's a goal to Sammy Lucas. And now they lead by an even 10 points. 2-2-14, South Launceston.
Play that sort of far wing, because that's the end that Launceston are kicking to. So you see that gum tree, they're going to kick out to that end. And they reckon that Launceston they're pretty good for this game, so South are going to really try and give it to them. That breeze is still pretty strong here, Tony, isn't it?
You can hear it in the fixed mic there, or in the you might get on the ground. Tony, what do you got for us?
Pretty good. Yeah, I think it is quite strong, as they say. Look, Launceston reckon they're going a bit too wide. They also reckon that they've been let down on the third phase. The first 2 bits are okay. But they're a bit worried about the fact they're getting caught a bit with the ball and having their kicks smothered. He wants them to run on a bit further and take the game on. And he says he wants them to react more. Sorry, they're currently reacting instead of being proactive. So he wants them to take the game on a fair bit more.
Thank you, boys, down there on the boundary. What did you think of those instructions, Macca?
Yeah, look, I think both teams at times have been unable to penetrate long into their forward line and find their forward targets. South did it twice where they got out over the back, but the pressure of South Launceston, I think, has to be the theme of that quarter, the immense pressure on that. And look, if the two key defenders in Boyd and Morris, want to sag back a little bit there, well then South London are going to have targets to hit up. And I think that's probably what they've got to do. As you saw the amount of possessions that Morris and Boyd had.
Second quarter action here at Youngtown Oval. Here's Matthew McGee.
Farquhar down in front. Holt does well. Farquhar's going to get it back though. Really good below his knees once again. The big fella in Farquhar. Wooten had a really good look. Goes deep. Oh, they get out the back here. Hyatt's going to have a look at them. Hyatt! Early goal! Well, it took all of 20 seconds, and it was the really good decision-making of Wooten. He summed it up. He had time and space, and then chasing onto the ball was Hyatt. What a goal.
And this will be the part of the quarter. 20 seconds. So Ben Hyde, who had a great year, didn't he? I mean, last year he came from Hillwood to the TSL level. He's one of Launceston's best players over the season. And he
found himself in the state squad, didn't he, there for a little while. His brother Isaac Hyatt, one of the boys that's moved over to Glenelg.
With Liam Jones?
With Liam Jones.
So back in the middle. Tap one there by Farquhar. Now taken by Palfreyman. Just gets it inside 50 with the breeze, not mucking around. Taken here. And handball over to Jake Hines from Wheeler. Contested footy now. They fall on top. Gillo tries to work it out. Conway's in there. Out it comes here. Tommy Graham. His kick smothered. And Gillo lays a heavy tackle there on his south opponent. It was laid upon by Conway. So I think they've been stung into action, Launceston, in this quarter. Come out very aggressively. Williams and Farquhar. Farquhar hands it to space. Jeffries can't get an effective kick away. And they just can't get it out of here. So it's going to be a ball up. Farquhar working hard. Ball taken there and kicked sideways by Sam Lucas to the wing. Fraser's got it. He's tackled over the line there by Jacob Boyd.
Quarter time in the Barossa Foz.
Yes.
North Melbourne 25, trailed the Suns 37.
Okay, we've got Carlton West Coast coming up. Are they underway yet?
No, 2 minutes.
2 minutes. Okay, so boundary thrown right in front of us. Not much play on the side of the ground, so it's good to see. Over the back, Farquhar flips it over now to Palfreyman, who breaks a tackle, finds some space. Round the corner kick, right in the lap there of the number 9 player there for South Launceston, Logan Smith, with the blonde tips. Smith now towards the wing. Ball taken there by Ship. Handball sideways. Hyatt inside 50. Couldn't take the mark. Got it now. There's a whistle on play going to South Launceston. The 8 free kick. Taken by Munton. He goes sideways to Woodcock Davis. Man on the mark sags off. Takes some territory. Kicks it up the wing. Oh, that's a good mark in front. Try and pick up the player over there. Looks like it might be, is it Wilkinson over there, Macca? Well, it's a short kick.
No, it was Morris.
Morris, thank you. Taken there by Jeffries on the left foot. Front position, Plunkett. He's got it now. Tries to get a kick away. Does it well. Now Hyatt trying to spin out. Great tackle though. Blade couldn't escape the contest. And that might have been young Smith again. In fact, it was Munting on this occasion. So deep in attack for Launceston. Wilkinson won the tap. Shark by Taylor. Tries to kick it off the ground. South defence working overtime. Hines with the snap out of nothing. Across the face. The bounce out of bounds. Forward pocket. And playing 4 minutes into this quarter. It's South Launceston 2-2-14. Launceston 1-4-10. Macca.
So after the early goal, they've settled a little bit here, the Dogs. Boundary throw in, right forward pocket. Short throw in. Getting a quick kick away was Graham. Good in the first quarter. Takes the mark. Could have been 50, Nick Kruger. Kruger, not a great kicking style. And it's turned the ball over. It's found Gillow. I think that's an awkward ball drop, Foz.
It is. Notice that with his shot for goal.
Left foot, Gillow, looking for Conway, floats but doesn't find it. And it's a good mark in the back line by Logan Smith. Smith goes short, back to the goal square, finds Ollie Woodcock-Davis. Has all the time in the world. He looks for people to move for him. Has to tell them to move, and they don't do a great job of it because second to the footy there was Brock Kenny, and the ball goes out of bounds in front of that gum tree, Dave Moore.
Yes.
It's going to be over there a bit.
See the branches of that gum tree swaying furiously in the breeze.
I think a little roundabout there at Youngtown. Cars go either side of it. Boundary throw in. Williams tries to get the ball down. Wilkinson doing some work in the ruck. Here's Jeffries. Breaks the 50 on the left. Is it going to bounce through? I think it does. Angus Jeffries, silky mover, silky kick, and an excellent goal to Angus Jeffries. That's 2 to the Blues. 2-4-16 Launceston. South Lonnie 2-2-14.
So just like that, 2 goals.
Cars go either side of it. Boundary throw in. Williams tries to get the ball down. Wilkinson doing some work in the ruck. Here's Jeffries. Breaks the 50 on the left. Is it going to bounce through? I think it does. Angus
Kicked a nice goal there from distance.
Talk about ex-St Patrick's College students, Foz. I did the additions. 21 current or former St Patrick's students playing in the game today.
Okay, there you go.
A lot of them have overlapped at different times.
Yes.
Brendan Taylor would be the most veteran St Patrick's
You're right about that.
student, but all the way through, 21.
Farquhar and Williams, 2 of those players. As Jaden Hines kicks it inside 50, looking for brother Jake. Out the back, Charlesworth did okay. Handball backward to Woodcock-Davis, who's sweeping back there. He gets contact from Conway as he gets the kick away. And he does it okay and finds Max Matthews. Matthews up here to Fraser. Now he's got a bit of space to run here into the breeze. Keeps the kick low. Tries to spot up Farrelly. Gets his hands to it. Gets it on the follow-up. Back to Fraser. Good footy there from the Bulldogs. Fraser's kick not great, although it's dropped there by Boyd. Loose footing now. Comes out to Polfyman. He's looking for an outlet. He finds one now. Gets the ball away here to Wootton, who just has that great centre of gravity to get out of trouble. Back now to Morris. Morris under pressure. Sideways to Avery. Takes the mark at half-back, Avery Thomas. Avery Thomas plays on. Kicks to half-forward here. The bouncer eludes Hines. Running through the skipper, Charlesworth. His kick's a bit of a shocker. So here we go now through Charlesworth with a follow-up. But Faulkner taps it backwards. Blackaby, quick kick forward. Off hands, here's Hines, Jake Hines from the paint of 50. Beautiful kick, Jake Hines. And that's a goal to Launceston. That's their third, and they stretch their lead here at Youngtown. 3-4-22 to 2-2-14. We've seen that over the years, and that left foot, he just found himself a bit of space. Statewide, talk to the locals with knowledge. Phone 13 11 61. Inside 50s in this quarter groups. Paints the picture.
All Launceston play 8 to 0.
Okay, so all the play clearances.
6 clearances to 2.
Matthew McGee.
Farquhar gets another clearance there. Groves put that one down. Goes to Jaden Hines. Up and under kick. It actually nearly goes backwards. Still in the centre circle or near it. It's going to be a high tackle. Going to be a free kick to Taylor. Premiership player at both clubs, Brendan Taylor.
Yes, also played a bit at North early on.
Otherwise known as Brawler.
Some Pats as well, and the old boys.
Yes, I said to him before the game, he feels a bit like a grandfather out there with some of these young blokes. Finds the lead there of Thomas Munty. Saw this boy play last year at Queechee Foz in school footy, Munty, and he was very, very good. Him and Ryder Bug, of course, a former South Lonnie boy. Disappointingly ended up at North Launceston for the club of South Lonnie. Don't know how that works, Foz. We might chat to that about, and so maybe Scuba might be able to tell us how juniors move from club to club. They need to fix that up a bit in my eyes.
So it's a big kick forward here by Graham inside 50. Off the fingertips there of the Launceston defence. Ollie Alexander flips it out. Handball now towards space. Farquhar's in there, the big fella trying to pick it up. Loose footy. Gee, Wooten there, great in traffic. This way, that away, and the other way again. Then he gets the handball away. I think that's Presnell back there at half-back. Worm-burning kick. It's the advantage of Wilkinson, who gets it and kicks it. Could be a good option, though, as it's inside 50 now. Trying to get back there, South defender. Number 89 there, Tommy Summers. His kick was affected. They're going to work it out here, though. Main gets it to his teammate. Kicks it to the wing. Here's Morrison. Up against Ship. Ship and Morrison. Oh! Morrison went in head first. It was a big clash of bodies. High tackle. Push and shove.
He had to go there, Morrison. He did.
He did. He got a high contact.
Towner comes over and gives his old schoolmate a bit of a hand. Morrison up the wing. Goes to a 2-on-1. They don't fly, but Morris does. Zach Morris. Hits it into Hines. Hines can't find the player in Faulkner by hand, but they come out the back pole from him. He overruns it. Tommy Graham, big cleaner, held without it. Never took position. Umpire says, bad luck, you did. It's going to be a ball up. Gee, Zach Morris, they need to do something with him across half-back there. I mentioned that they might try and throw him forward, but you won't throw him forward at the moment because he's doing all he wants at the back. So does Lee try and take him back to the square, get him out of that position, because at the moment it's all Morris across half-back. Well done here, Farrelly, inside 50, falling over was Ollie Alexander, but he gets up quickly, leads to the ball. Number 11 for Launceston, takes the footy there in Seth Pfeiffer, famous number once worn by Joby Harper, Foz.
Yes.
So big raps on young Seth Pfeiffer here in the TSL. They come back inboard, turn the footy over. Wooden, Taylor does well. They need a mark here to the Dogs. They go 2 against 1 at the fall of the pack. South Lonnie Matthew Lee gets himself into the game. Ball falls short in front of the scoreboard here at Youngtown, and they'll take it out. No. They try again. Alexander. They twist and turn. Lee working in a phone box. Ball going nowhere. Good tackle. Good pressure. So 2-2-14 South Launceston. They led at quarter time by 10. They now trail by 8. Launceston 3-4-22. Thank you for listening to City Park Radio today. 103.7 and 96.5. If you haven't joined us before, here's the captain of the commentary team, Dave Moore.
Kenny McCormack at the tap away. Now it's a free kick here for a sling tackle of sorts. Umpire Wright's picked it out. Try and pick up the player. They're a long way away from us here underneath the scoreboard.
Farrelly.
It's the blonde hair there of Farrelly under the scoreboard that reads 3-4-22, 2-2-14 at the moment. And now we want 50 metre. I think some words were said.
That helps.
So a goal into the breeze will be like gold on a day such as this. And Hunter Farrelly should make no mistake. But right in front, he puts it through. And South Launceston edge closer, 3-2-20. Launceston 3-4-22. And just alluding to what you said, Macca, they've got to make every entry count.
That's
this
exactly
quarter.
what they needed. And look, they did well initially to keep the ball.
A real bonus. So Hunter Farrelly is a real live wire up there. He's been good today. He's in a bit of a push and shove at the moment with his opponent there in Oliver Atkins. The umpire now has it back in the centre of Youngtown Oval. This beautiful sunny day, middle of April.
It's really interested what the Dogs coaching staff are going to do with Morris. You've just got to try and get him away from the footy, whether he's smart enough not to take the bait as a decoy. But here's Wooden. Runs away from Dawkins. Wooden. Good by hand, inboard boy. Goes to Pulfreman. That's what they've got to stop the Dogs. Farquhar goes back to Pulfreman. Good pressure, Fraser. Ball comes in. Woodcock Davis, good punch, but it goes goal side. Rolls through for a behind. Good result. If you're a South Lonnie supporter, it goes through for a behind. Yes, Dave.
Got an injury report from the boundary, boys.
Yeah, Ethan Conway came off there just sort of saying he might have had a bit of a corky in the lower leg on the left side. Just doing a bit of rub-ins, probably going to walk it out. He's not staying off, that's for sure.
Okay, so yes, report there on Ethan Conway, who's come back to the top level of footy this year. As Woodcock Davis kicks it out, Macca.
Woodcock Davis only finds the Launceston player in Morris.
There he is.
Like to see how many marks. We'll get the stats at half-time. Morris goes deep. Good mark. up in the forward line there, and that is the Launceston forward in Archie Wilkinson. A lot of goals at Hillwood, Foz.
He started Launceston, I think, in the Development League. We saw him kick a lot of goals there.
Yeah, handy cricketer, a great cricketer at Launceston. Bats and bowls well. So he's going to have a shot. 30 out by the time he kicks it. Ball came in pretty quick after that kick out. And Wilkinson, the big body. Quick reply. The Launceston Blues, and it is Archie Wilkinson. So they worked hard to get the one up the other end, South, and they've given it straight back. Launceston now 4-5-29, lead the Dogs 3-2-20.
Okay. The two ruckman, Williams and Farquhar there in the middle. Margin 9 points. 15 and a half minutes gone. We've got Scott Stevens from the Lonnie Footy Club joining us half-time for our half-time feature interview. Play on now through Taylor. Centre clearance. Inside 50. All the Blues back there initially. Gee, that was a good pick-up by Pfeiffer. He's been great back there. Seth Pfeiffer kicks to space on the wing. Now, will the umpire say that is sufficient intent? Yes. Okay, says umpire, right. So, boundary throw-in. The far side, good crowd in today, good atmosphere. Of course, we've got the women's game coming up after this. You can watch the stream on the AFL Taz YouTube channel. Williams with the tap. Anybody take it away? It's off the ground. Ball's in the lap there of Gillow. So, Bailey Gillow. He's going to go down that outer side, so they're not going to switch it here, but that's because they've got a target all by himself. Jake Hines fumbles, has the recovery, handball's off, kick inside 50. I think that's Wooten to advantage there of Jaden Hines, who takes a lovely one-handed mark right against the boundary line. So those on-ballers for Launceston starting to have an effect in this game. Wooten, Palfreyman in particular.
It's always easier when the wind's at your back, Foz, and everything's just going that way.
A lovely mark by Jaden Hines, who we've seen him play a variety of roles over the years.
I was about to say, Foz, he'd love the fact he's in the forward pocket, not the back pocket. Got stuck there quite a bit in the TSL days.
I think in Bridge North last year, he ventured forward under his coach, who was his brother. Jaden Hines, 20 out, sharp angle. Umpire does a lot of work. Now, I think he likes it, though.
He does like it.
I like the body language. It's a goal to Jaden Hines. Just snuck it in that right goal post. And that's 2 in a row now for the Blues.
Yeah, 5 for the quarter, Foz.
Handball's off. Kick inside 50. I think that's Wooten to advantage there of Jaden Hines, who takes a lovely one-handed mark right against the boundary line. His brother. Jaden Hines, 20 out, sharp angle. Umpire does a lot of work. Now, I think he likes it, though. I like the body language. It's a goal.
First quarter, did you say?
They took 6, so they're...
Yeah, so 11 intercept marks, and I reckon, well, probably more than half of them have been Zach Morris.
I was a goal behind there with my score call. It's 5-5-35 Launceston, South Launceston 3-2-20. Here's Macca.
Umpire in the middle of the ground, Farquhar up against Clark Williams. Ball comes down, Palfreyman's been really good. Hyatt finds himself in the middle. Disguised as Wooten it was. And the ball goes out of bounds over near the Gumtree again. So Lucas Wooten really heating up, Foz.
I'll tell you what, Mac, it's warm here, but think of the poor people in the Barossa gathering. I think it's 33,
poor
30,
people.
33, 34 degrees.
Remember they're poor people if they're sitting in the Barossa.
Look, they're in the blazing 34 degree heat.
Look at them. Gold Coast 50, lead North Melbourne 38. Blazing heat.
As it comes out the back now from the boundary throw in, we're going to get a secondary stoppage. All single goal kickers at the moment in this game.
All single goal kickers, Dave.
So no one dominating the forward lines. But it's an interesting game. Margin closer than a lot of people may have thought at the start of the game. The South Launceston Bulldogs are very competitive. As Palfreyman kicks it up in the air, has it gone 15? Play on as Avery Thomas takes it, gets it out. Quick kick forward here from the Bulldogs. Up towards their right half forward. Getting there first is Tina McCormack. He's shoveled off it though. Well done by Matthew Lee. Now kicks it to advantage of a teammate in the pocket. His space gets shut down quickly and Pfeiffer just takes it away from him. and punts it out of defence, but only as far as the ruckman Clark Williams, who's been pretty good today.
I think it fell that way because I don't think the coaches would have been that happy with the effort of Lee in that pocket. Just got to do more to keep it in, especially with those defenders. Early days, it's Carlton 9, lead the Eagles 8.
And North Melbourne a goal there, so they're only a goal down now to the Suns. As it's Bounty throw in. Right half forward for South Launceston. About 10 minutes left in this quarter, so the Blues would like to put a few more on the scoreboard before half time, but Gareth Holt has other ideas. He gets the handball away inside 50. Now we might have a kick downfield here.
Yes, you do.
Hunter Farrelly, I think, was on the spot and will take possession. It's a tough shot into the breeze here. He's all of 45 out, right underneath the scoreboard.
Seb Page maybe that got ended up on his backside. So Farrelly goes short. Holt. Umpire says not 15, play on. He comes back inboard. Not 15 again, the umpire says.
Goodness.
Could have been high on Kruger. So the umpire says give it to me. So they're right hot on that rule. Interesting that it always filters down, doesn't it? From the AFL all the way down to the NTFA at Youngtown. The umpires have the same directives right around Australia. Hines, Jake Hines, gets a clearance. Finds the big chest there of Archie Wilkinson. He wheels and goes. He takes a bounce, big Archie. In fact, he takes two. If this gets over the top, it can go all the way. Watch this ball fly. Good second attempt at the mark there was Hyatt. Kick off the ground. Jaden Hines. It's hit the post. Or hit the umpire, one or the other. Hit the post and it's behind. Well, Archie Wilkinson found time and space, the big unit.
5-6-36 Launceston. South Launceston 3-2-20. Short kick out now. Comes to Holt, who's led from the front today, there's no doubt about that. Who plays on a bit under pressure, tries to find Taylor. Plenty of Blues about though. Player tackle down. Oh, it's going to be a high tackle. It's come back here to Lenny Faulkner. Faulkner sets it up on the breeze. Got the tall timber. Wilkinson can't quite take it. Has a recovery. Snaps towards goal. It's offline and floats through for a behind. 5-7-37 at Launceston. 3-2-20. Dave Gruber, a couple of stats for us.
Launceston up to 15 inside 50s, 6 to the Bulldogs, and still on top in clearances, 11 to Launceston, and the Bulldogs have 6.
With the margin at 17 points, Foz about 6.5 minutes left. The Dogs just need to hold on here before half time. Tommy Graham out in front of the big gum tree again. It's the favourite spot today. If you're standing over there like a couple of gentlemen, you'll see plenty of play. There's a turnover. They turn and go now to Launceston.
Chip.
Another inside 50. Can't hit Wilkinson, bottom of the pack. Here's Pulfreman. Little inside out, Banana. Misses. Well, peppering the goals here, Dave Moore.
They are indeed. 5-8-38 to 3-2-20. Nice little handball from Wheeler there to set up that opportunity for Pulfreman. Woodcock Davis now in the defensive goal square. Cruises out, takes a bounce, keeps it low into the breeze, tries to spot up a teammate. Ship dropped a mark he probably should have taken. Good recovery, Taylor. Out now to Lee. He's tackled by Hines forcefully. Ball up underneath the tree again.
It's those kick-outs. They just go to a pack. It's just a matter of time. It's a one-on-one contest. You're going to lose some of them. The ball's going to come back. So maybe if they can hit someone up or have a bit better structure on the kick-outs.
Yes.
So at the moment, it's just going to the same spot every time.
Yeah, as you say, it's a matter of time before someone just gets a clearance and pumps it back in. Yep.
Yeah. Obviously not going to come this side, but just maybe try and do it a little bit differently.
Farquhar and Williams. Bounty thrown full short. Farquhar with a tap. Straight down to Holt, though. Who's funny old kick. Will spill out of bounds. Bounty throw in. We've been playing 23.5 minutes. Don't forget, next Friday night, we've got the traditional Good Friday game between North Launceston and Launceston from 6:30.
Good Friday clash, Dave.
Yes. And then after that, we're back here at Youngtown for South versus North. So that should be a good one too. Over to you, Macca.
Farquhar takes his own ball out of the ruck. Williams does no. Taylor does well. The small tackling the large. And the umpire says, give it to me. South Launceston, Farquhar. Just need to get a few more numbers around the footy. The Dogs here, I reckon. Just roll a couple of their half forwards up, Foz, just to shut it down for the last 3-4 minutes, because it's still very open. They can just roll a couple of half forwards up. They're not going to get too much of the footy up there.
Oh, good work there from the
good clearance.
10.
Tommy Graham makes good yards, tries to take the mark. Umpire says it wasn't there. And another ball up.
And Sam Lucas there spinning out of the pack. Kicked the goal earlier.
It looks like they've rolled one up because they do have one defender back in Seth Pfeiffer as an extra. Quick kick forward. It's tough work here for the Dogs into that breeze. The ball doesn't go out. Good tackle there on Tin and McCormack. And umpire Wright says, give it to me in front of the scoreboard, which reads 25 minutes gone. South Launceston 3-2-20. Trail by an even 3 goals. Launceston 5-8-38.
From the ball up. It's a loose ball. Big knock to space there by Farquhar. Hines will get there first on the boundary line. Handball's over the top. Tries to get connection with Wheeler. Gets it back to Hines. Hines takes a bounce right next to the boundary line. Has support in board. They take it away now inside 50. Chance here for Wilkinson from the back. He's got the sit there, Woodcock Davis. And it was a beautifully weighted kick there. Now, just trying to pick up the player who delivered that to Wilkinson because it was a beautiful delivery. It was Wheeler again, I think.
Good user.
And he was part of that passenger play twice. And Wilkinson snaps. And he kicks another goal for Launceston. And that's his second. He becomes the first multiple goal kicker in this game. He's kicked 2 in this quarter, Archie Wilkinson. But well worked out there by Hines and Wheeler. They combine together. They take it away now inside 50. Chance here for Wilkinson from the back. He's got the sit there, Woodcock Davis. And it was a beautifully weighted kick there. Now just trying to pick up the play twice. And Wilkinson snaps. And he kicks another goal for Launceston. And that's his second. Here comes the first one.
Just the target of Wilkinson. South Launceston, a little bit of work to do now, 4 goals down.
6-8-44, 3-2-20 City Park Radio, 103.7 and 96.5. Here's Macca.
Can't be long left. Farquhar over the top. Good tap out. Here's Wooden. Look for him to use the ball well. Hines sets. Wilkinson tried to come over the top. It nearly bounced into his arms. Wilkinson has another shot. Conway on the up. Looks to give it to his good mate in Hyatt. They can't give another one away here now. The Dogs in the forward pocket. They get it out. They can't get the footy. Can the Dogs? They need to get in their hands. Here's Jaden Hines. Taken without it? No. Holding the ball.
Red hot.
He tried to barge through. As long as the tackle was not high, it was a good tackle by the South player there in Sam Main. He's going to go back to Woodcock Davis. Woodcock Davis will look to go to that Gumtree side of the ground again. Goes short to Holt. So Holt, far side of the ground. There's a better lead, better mark. Good hit up. They turn and go now to the Dogs. They're going to take it on with a couple of minutes, if that left. 3 in fact. So South Launceston, far side of the ground. Called to play on. Doing well over there is Thomas Munty. Steps around. Finds Ollie Alexander. Ironically in front of the Dexian sign, Foz, the Alexander business.
There you go. Good product placement as Alexander now kicks low inside 50. Brock Kenny's there, but is that a mark? I think it is paid to Zach Morris. Another intercept mark there. Quite a few this quarter for the Blues groups.
Yeah, 7.
He'd have had 8 or 10 for the game, wouldn't he?
Jeffries now.
Like
Short kick,
just
not
normal
good.
marks. Just normal marks. It's just been huge back there.
Holt now the relieving free kick. Kicks up towards attacking 50 to Kruger. Kruger, short kick to spot up Lee. And he does so. Tough shot.
That's what they've got to
30
do.
metres out.
That's what they've got to do, the Dogs, Foz. They've got to make this Lonnie defenders defend. So hit them up. If they lead, hit them up. Make them defend.
Matthew Lee right on the boundary line. They kick one into the breeze this quarter through the agency of Hunter Farrelly. On the mark is Seth Pfeiffer. Gee, they need this one. And we've got long left in this quarter, 2 minutes. So Matthew Lee, bring the margin back to a very manageable 3 goals. 12's the ball in his hands. Passes the scoreboard. Kicks to the northern end and misses. I built it up a bit there, but he let me down, Matthew Lee. 3-3-21 to 6-8-44. Margin is 23 points. Wasting no time is Zach Morris. Kicks it 50 metres outside defensive 50. Spots up Wilkinson, who takes it on his chest. He plays on. Wheels and goes. Had a great quarter, Wilkinson. Checks the kick. Out of the corner of his eye, he spotted Jaden Hines on the centre wing. He lays back on a kick up here towards half forward. He's going to fall in the arms, though, of Ollie Woodcock Davis. Woodcock Davis.
Suns by 8, Foz, and Carlton by 9 against the Eagles. Woodcock Davis, that goes high. Who can take a mark? Oh, floating over the back, doing a pretty good job there is Logan Smith. The ball goes out of bounds near side for him. Right on centre wing, 29.5 minutes gone. Around about a minute left. Really nice warm day here at South Launceston for the round 1 of the new Premier League in the NTFA. Farrelly, bottom of the pack, getting the clearance there was Nick Kruger. Looks up for Lee. Been a little bit more dangerous in the last 5 minutes. Holt. Going to be another free kick downfield. And it's going to be South Launceston through Taylor. He'll turn and go. Who can they hit? Oh, all they've done is hit Avery Thomas. So another intercept mark for Dave Gruber. Keep chalking them up, groups.
Presnell takes the mark. Handball sideways to Morris. Been fantastic across half-back. Here's Wilkinson, quiet first quarter. But boy, is he lifted in this quarter. We've got a 50-metre. We have encroaching over the mark. There was Ollie Woodcock Davis.
Was it that or the umpire?
Was it something downfield? Was it Mac? I didn't think Woodcock Davis.
No, there was something over the far side. I don't through the centre corridor. I don't really know.
Now that brings him within scoring distance.
It's a short 50.
He's kicked 2 in this quarter. Man on the mark is about 45 out. Pretty much directly in front.
If that's 25, that's 10. I reckon he's gone 38 metres, that 50-metre penalty, Dave Gruber.
Oh, yeah, it was,
Just using my trigonometry skills.
Wilkinson kicks towards goal, always outright. Might struggle to score, just sneaks in. One behind. 6-9-45 to 3-3-21.
Suns by 2.
Okay, interesting. It's Woodcock Davis now. Take the kick out of fullback. How long have we got left, Macca? You're there with the...
I reckon about 12 seconds.
12 seconds,
just
right.
Guessing.
It's a rough guess.
I'm just guessing.
Okay, as the kick comes out of defence, we might not see another score. We might, as Jeffries takes a mark, gets to 55, centering ball. Hines, no. Yes. Jake Hines takes the mark in the last second of play.
Coach killer.
Teammates down. And I'll tell you what, the coach nearly killed his teammate there as well. Just going across to take the mark.
12 seconds though, Foz.
Yes.
12 seconds. You don't want to get that in there.
Yeah. Jeffries knew time was with the Epsons. He just got the ball in. Seen him do that a couple of times now. And Jake Hines. Now, it's not a gimme by any means. He's 15 metres out, 45-degree angle. Mackett's put it down.
Putting it down. Coach's curse, maybe. Commentator's curse.
Well, let's see. And the blue boots. It's the coach, Jake Hines, back from the Bridge North Footy Club this season to take the helm. Kicking to the southern end. And makes no mistake, kicks it straight through the middle. The players get around him. A little bit of push and shove now. Cock Davis.
There we go.
There we go. A little bit of a melee on half time. Players starting to fall down. It's getting a little bit serious now. A lot of jumpers being grabbed. Keep an eye on it.
As I mentioned, there's 21 St Pat's boys, so you'd imagine there's a bit of schoolyard battles out there, Foz.
Yeah, it's little spot fires everywhere.
Back too. Little
Jeffries up against number 89 there in Summers.
Yeah.
And they're going at it off the pack now. So little spot fires just breaking out. They're starting to separate now. I don't think there'll be much out of that. But the umpire's trying to shepherd them to their respective areas.
Oh, Ethan Conway. That's reportable.
Right, okay.
That's
Right in
reportable.
front of the umpire.
That's silly.
Okay, and now words exchanged.
That is silly.
I think it was young Kruger there.
Yeah, he's given a half a sort of elbow.
Okay.
Not that I want to be a witness. I've been to the tribunal before, back in the day. I'm just commentating what I might have seen.
You might have seen.
Could have been wrong. It's going to be sent off here.
Yeah, so
It's going to be sent off here.
happen here.
It's got a yellow card.
And Kruger coming back for a few words. So it's Hunter Farrelly. It's a bit willing now. Explain to me the card system, Macca.
I don't know. 15-minute cool-off. I don't know. Yellow card.
We'll get the boys on the boundary there.
15-minute cool-off. Rick, you'd know. Yellow cards, yellow cards.
So we'll get the boys on the boundary there to find out what's going on there with Ethan Conway. But
I think it's 15 minutes, yes.
well, that was a very eventful end to that quarter.
Scoreboard, Foz. 7-9-51,
Yes.
Launceston. South Lottie 3-3-21.
And Jake Hines kicked the goal.
That's 30 points it is now.
Jake Hines' second goal.
Yes, so I'll go through the goal
Yes,
kickers.
please do.
It's 2 goals to Jake Hines, 2 goals to Archie Wilkinson, singles to Jeffries, Hyatt and Jaden Hines.
For the Bulldogs.
And for the Bulldogs, singles to Morrison, Lucas and Hunter Farrelly.
So, half-time here, with a bit of action there with the all-in brawl, melee, whatever you want to call it there at the half-time. But the score is 7-9-51 Launceston. Launceston 3-3-21. We'll catch our breath. Macca, we might just have a quick word for you about that first half.
Well, as I mentioned, I thought South were terrific in the first quarter with their pressure around the footy. Just didn't put enough goals on the board for mine. And it came back to roost, really, because the wind isn't going to get any less. Launceston started getting some really good footy, especially from the centre clearance on the outside. Jeffries, Wooten, terrific user of the footy, the youngster. And then obviously the targets up forward, Hines and Wilkinson. Match that with the defensive marks, like not even under pressure, a lot of them, to Morrison and Boyd back there, but Morris especially, and Boyd, back there, and Pfeiffer. South just needed to do a little bit more to use the footy going forward. Lee was virtually unsided. Last 5 minutes better. But look, just the inexperience and the strength around the footy, the numbers around the footy just really stops out. Maybe when they're against the wind, maybe just try and clog it up a little bit more, get more numbers around the footy to stop that ball getting out. But look, it was a 7-goal quarter to Launceston, and they deserved their 30-point lead at half-time.
Tony, you got some news there on Ethan Conway? I think he's gone into the rooms, but he did text me to say 15 minutes is the situation there. So
15 minutes.
Grooms, quickly the stats before we have a break. We've got Scotty Stevens coming up very soon.
Stats to half-time. Hit out South Launceston 12 to Launceston 37. Clearances, South Launceston 18, Launceston have 26. Inside 50s, 22 for South Launceston and 30 for Launceston. Marks inside 50, 5 for South Launceston, 4 for the Blues. Intercept marks, 6 from South Launceston, 15 for Launceston, and free kicks, South Launceston 15 to Launceston 8.
Dave Gruber, the best in the business, and you can see there Grubes on top in a lot of those stats.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay, we'll take a half-time break here. We've got Scott Stevens coming up after the break. At half-time here, it's Launceston 7-9-51, leading South Launceston 3-3-21. Back in a moment. Welcome back here to Youngtown Oval at half-time here at South Launceston 3-3-21, trailing Launceston 7-9-51. And as is our tradition, we have a half-time guest here. And we're going to talk to a number of presidents through the start of the season, just to talk about the new NTFA Premier League, and the president of the Launceston Footy Club, none other than club legend Scotty Stevens. G'day, Scuba.
G'day, Foz. Good to be here, mate.
No worries. How have you seen the game before we start talking about other matters?
Yeah, a little bit of a game of two halves. Obviously, the wind's playing a little bit of a factor. Our boys are a little bit fumbly, and South's pressure was really good. They just seemed to get a hand in, whether it be smothering a handball or a kick, or just a hand on, and put our boys under a bit of pressure. But I suppose a bit of the cream and experience sort of rose to the fore then when we dominated the centre clearances, and Lucas Wooten's really showing his polish out there at the moment, and Dylan's given him good use. And then we look strong behind the ball with Zachy Morris and Avery taking some good overhead marks. So we've dominated, that area, and then our forwards, got the rewards from it in that quarter.
Yeah, young Lucas Houghton, he's sort of growing in stature, and he's had a good couple of games with the Devils already, and returns to club footy and is doing the job. Yeah,
you can just tell, another 12 months in pre-season, his body's developed now. He's a beautiful mover of the footy, and he'd be one of the best kicks in the state, under 18s or seniors. He's just, real class.
Now, mate, it's been a while since we've spoken to you, and I suppose when we last spoke to you, it was decided that the TSL was going to finish up and that there'd be a new structure this year. And I suppose you got on the front foot there at the Blues. Obviously you were disappointed, and everyone understands that, but you got on the front foot and you said, OK, this is what it's going to be. We're going to go positively towards the future. Yeah,
don't get me wrong, we put up our fight for as long as we could, yes, Dave, but, once it was our ticket was written, we had to move forward. We can't continue to look back in the revision mirror, and we had to focus on, setting up the club for the future. The Devils is going to come in 12 months' time, so it's going to give us, I suppose, the talented guys across each team, the opportunity there to play at the highest level. So it's just about, setting our club up for sustainability in the future, and, here we are.
One thing, Scoob, and welcome. One thing I'm big on is creating interest, and you've got to have people at your games. You've got to have kids here like today. You've got to have a crowd, And I think the one thing the NTFA has done is people are interested again. They're interested in Lonnie and South and Lonnie versus North. And, no disrespect to your club or North, but a lot of people lost interest in the TSL in the last 12 to 18 months. Yeah, because of that TSL banner.
You're spot on.
And I think now, coming into the ground, I was joking with your boys saying, how are you going to go with the crowd today? You haven't played in front of 40 people in the last couple of years. That was my joke. But today, the horns are here, the cars are here, people are yelling and screaming again at the footy. Yeah. I think the way to grow the game is to create that interest. I don't know. What do you think of that? Yeah, no, you're spot on, and look, and that's one of the positivities that we've taken out of this new league and new approach, and that was something that we were genuinely excited to come back to town versus town and rival versus rival, and schoolmate versus schoolmate, because that's what it is, and we haven't had that for probably a bit over 10 years now, when the TSL did start to peter out a bit. But it's great to be here today. The weather's great. Everything looks good. And our club rooms on Thursday night was just a hive of activity. We had our Oz kickers there, and then we had our jumper presentations for all the teams, and it was just a packed house for our players. And really exciting for the boys. And it's a little bit new to some of them, but it's good to see the smiles on the faces.
And it's going to take a while to settle, isn't it? We are going to see some results that we probably wouldn't prefer to see early on, maybe. I don't want to make too many prejudgments, but as time goes on, hopefully all clubs rage to a certain level where you get a lot of competitive games. Yeah, look, and that's where the clubs, the relationship between the presidents and the clubs at the moment has never been better. We've got a really good working relationship, and we're really working hard to get Deloraine and Scottsdale, the teams that are have struggled a little bit with scores in previous years, getting them up to the standard. And you look at South, they're the strongest club actually in Northern Tasmania in terms of junior participation, and they've got a great pathway. So they're not too far away. A couple of years in pre-seasons of experience and stuff under their belt, they'll be thereabouts. Obviously North are, they're just a factory. They're really strong. And Longford, coming off success a couple of years ago, they're not too far away themselves. So it's just about time and us helping them and giving them our IP, I suppose, to improve and make this competition really strong in the North.
And we were at the season launch a few weeks ago, Scoob, and having someone like Peter Gutwin as the president of the association now, I think is just a massive plus on the inside and also on the outside, the greater community, just to have someone like that speaking on your behalf and the competition's behalf. Yeah, absolutely. Look, and obviously, we're keenly focused on the now and trying to get off to a really good start, but Pete's got a really good eye for, where we want football in the North in 2 years, 3 years, but most importantly 5 years and for the long term. So, the presidents and Pete are working really strongly on that, and we've got a meeting next week just to, cover off a few issues. North have got their issues there with club rooms, and Pete's working really hard with North and Stadiums Tas to, find a home for them, because, we need them to have a home, because we need them to be strong and successful and continue to raise the bar so we can be there as well. Absolutely. Macca mentioned juniors there.
your juniors at Launceston, like the participation in NTFA and through the ranks there? How's that going?
Yeah, look, footy is in an interesting space. Participation numbers, I don't know what the data tells you, but I suppose once the AFL team comes in, we're going to get that natural growth again. Clubs are probably struggling at a senior level for the numbers and the participation, but junior footy is still relatively strong. And with the AFL just around the corner, that's only going to get stronger. So we've got to make sure we've got plenty of resources in that space to be able to cater, for the kids to come in.
You mentioned that, and I follow the NTFA pretty closely. They've got some challenges, I reckon.
Yeah.
The big clubs are getting bigger. The boys, Youngtown, you mentioned South Lonnie here.
Yeah.
The under-16s comp, they've won both games 150, 120, 130 points.
Yeah.
The competition, there's been some mooting maybe of trying to get a Devonport or the Northwest involved at that junior level.
Yeah.
I just think sometimes the smaller clubs are struggling because the better boys are coming there. On that, it interests me, Scurban, I don't know what the rules are, hopefully you can tell me, but about talented young juniors in particular just swapping clubs and moving on. I'm obviously a South Lonnie person way back, but I see someone like Ryder Bug, started here as a junior, as an Oz kicker, come right through, and then all of a sudden he ends up at North Launceston. Now, I understood that if they were still in the TSL and the pathway.
Yeah.
Are there rules in place about moving clubs and that like that? Because for me, I don't see how that can work if juniors just go to where they want without some sort of borders or some sort of financial stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, to be honest, man, I'm not a fan of it. That's just my personal opinion. And the whole contract side of things from a playing perspective is a work in progress, and it's something that I've had discussions with personally with the NTFA, and it's something we need to work through because, to be honest, the contracts don't really... they're not worth the paper they're written on. It's essentially just what you're going to pay the player to play. Any player can go anywhere at any given time, contract or uncontract.
So is there no zones even at junior level now? No. Back in my day, maybe your day, there was zones, geographical where you live or at least where you went to school. I think personally that probably needs to come back in.
Yeah.
So at least then you get evenness of at least where you're living to start with up until, say, under 16 age or through to under 18s, because otherwise you're going to have talented kids who are at Scottsdale or at Deloraine or down the river or whatever that are going to be poached to come into the bigger city clubs.
Correct, and like you say, because the TSL was there, absolutely,
pathway, totally
the
get
Prospect boys or the South boys or Longford boys come in as they have done the last 10 years. That's great.
Yeah.
But if you've got that pathway now, we're all in the same comp. You'd really love to see
your juniors stay with your juniors.
Yeah, correct.
We're back going away very quickly, Scuba. Exciting times at Windsor Park. The surface is done, nearly ready to go.
Yeah, the council have done a fantastic job. It's the sprinklers have been on virtually for the last 4 or 5 months, and plenty of sunshine. So it's in a really good space. The light towers are up now. So first home game 31st of May, and obviously it's our 150th anniversary.
Yes.
So we're going to be heavily back-ended with our home games, and looking forward to it.
Are you pretty full strength today? Is there anyone missing today that could possibly come into your side over the next few weeks?
Obviously Miller Hodge, who's running today.
Is he back at the club?
Yeah, he's got a shoulder, so he might be unlikely this year. We've got Jackson Thurlow as well. And
what's his status? Is he going to be playing?
Yeah, we're hoping to see Jackson in the next couple of weeks.
Try and sneak him in.
Yeah.
Scotty, thanks very much for joining us. We're about to get underway. I really appreciate it. We'll get you back later in the season, maybe when we go to Windsor Park when that new development is being opened.
That'd be great. Good to be here, boys.
Thanks Scott Stevens there on City Park Radio, the president of the Launceston Footy Club. Sorry to the guys on the boundary. We get down here as quick as we can. If we don't get you in before the bounce, we'll do it in a couple of instalments. What have we got?
We got Launceston. They're very happy with the way it went. They expect South to come back and with it this quarter. They feel it'll be really hot for about the first 2 minutes, and if they can weather that, then they should be okay. Just wants to keep playing direct football and attack the ball. Here's Chris.
And South are going to really use that melee at half-time as motivation, so look out.
No worries. Thanks, Chris. Run away. Clark Williams gets the free kick from the centre square infringement. And Matthew McGee for City Park Radio Sport, 103.7, 96.5. Great discussion there with Scott Stevens. He's a good friend of the station.
Yeah, wonderful human being. He's had his challenges personally with his health, and it's great just to see him up and back. Well, the second half, it started like the first, and Zach Morris takes another intercept mark for Dave Gruber, who hasn't even taken his seat yet. Put it down, Grubes. Dylan Farkai with the mark on centre wing. Building into the game, Big Farks. He wheels and goes inside 50. Jake Hines! Well, we mentioned how it starts like it ended, and it was an inside 50. Jake Hines leading out. We mentioned earlier on that only a few years ago he was the best player in the state, dominant up forward for the Launceston Football Club in the TSL. Did some time away at Bridgenorth in the coaching capacity, really grown into that role. Took it on at Windsor Park, and now he's trying to kick his third. He wheels onto that left foot, puts it out with the wind. He'll struggle to get it back. It comes late like Fozzie's little fade, and it's through for a behind. So Launceston, 7-10-52, lead by 31 points.
Hollywood Cook Davis done a pretty good job at down back today. Spears the pass, intercepted though by Gillow. He picks it up, gets the handball away, short kick in, good one to Wilkinson, and he'll line up. That was number 14, Lenny Faulkner there with a pass. Smart play, he didn't blaze away, lowered the eyes, saw Wilkinson, and he will line up from about 25 out, slightly right of centre. So just confirming Ethan Conway is on a yellow card. 15 minutes plus a report there for that incident at the end of the second quarter.
Scotty Stevens did laugh. He said, there goes my Tuesday night.
Okay.
Scoob will represent Ethan at the tribunal.
Wilkinson looking for goal number 3. Impressive debut here for the Blues. Keeps it low into the breeze and hits the posts. One behind, 7-11-53 to 3-3-21. Matthew McGee.
So South Launceston, they'll look to create that pressure and run that they did in the first quarter. Woodcock Davis, easier kicking with the breeze. They still go to that far side of the ground. Like to see them attack from this side. Inside 50, another mark. It's another mark to Launceston. Jacob Wheeler had some nice moments in the second. He gives it off by hand. Here's Boyd. Top of the square, not a great kick. Intercept mark for Dave Gruber. South Launceston in defence to Charlesworth. Charlesworth.
Top possession winners, Macca to half-time for the Blues. Jake Hines with 20, Zach Morris with 19.
How many marks?
I shall have a look at that.
Out of bounds, you've got time.
So I've got to scroll across here, Macca.
You turn your phone sideways.
Oh,
turn your phone sideways, works better.
Didn't think of that one.
That's good.
Keep commentating.
Nothing happening, Dave. Boundary throw in. 32 points. Need your glasses.
Yeah, that's another problem. Can't find the marks anyway.
Give him a hand grooves, please.
19 possessions for Morris, 18 for Polferman, 17 for Wooten, and 11 for Jaden Hines. So
you commentate and I'll find
okay. Kick comes out towards the wing. South Launceston player wrapped up in a tackle. And we have a secondary ball up. I'll chatter down below us. Good crowd in today. For round 1 of the season here in the NTFA Premier League. We've got a free kick plucked out now. We'll go the Bulldogs' way. It's taken there for
8 marks, Zach Morris.
Bulldogs by Sam Lucas. 8 marks.
8 marks.
For Morris as Lucas kicks it towards half forward. Taken by Thomas. Sideways kick finds Morris. Make that 9 marks. Plays on. Make that 19 possessions. Kicks it beautifully to Pfeiffer. So Pfeiffer now. Little kick there to Jeffries. Angus Jeffries pops it up, gets connection there, finds teammate in Atkins. Oliver Atkins, back to Jeffries, 2 lookalikes there. Jeffries keeps it low, nice to Wilkinson. He's racking up the marks at the moment, goes long, Hines one-on-one, over the back, Ben Hyatt, smart, can't quite grab it. South Launceston defence working overtime, Seb Page, and he's tackled. Will be a ball up to the goal square.
Dylan Farquhar, 31 hit-outs. As well, Fozzle.
Not too shabby. Williams with this hit out. Shark by Wilkinson. Snap for goal. Archie has done it. Goal to Launceston. 3 goals now to Archie Wilkinson, who's really put a stamp on this game. 7-11-53 to 3-3-21. You know Archie Wilkinson reminds me of?
Oh, give me a name, Dave.
Adam Derbyshire.
Okay.
He moves very
look
similar.
at him. Yes.
I think Adam was a...
Shoulders, hands on hips, yes.
Was a right footer. But Archie just has that sort of movement. There you go.
Well, if you give me half as good as Adam Derbyshire.
Yes, ex-Tassie Devil and Blue.
VFL.
So, yeah, Blues just, that's handy going to the wind. Just starting to knock the wind out of the sails of the Bulldogs a bit.
Yes, the floodgates seem to have opened, Foz. 5.5 minutes into the third. South just a couple with that wind, you never know, but just can't get the clearances at the moment. I think, what were the clearances first half, Dave Gruber?
Get to that in a second as from the ball up, Polfrin working hard. So as Gillo always gives 100%. Another ball up. What do you got for Scroops?
26-13.
Yeah, 2-1. I can see like Pulfreman, Wootton, even Farquhar himself with a couple of clearances. There's a beautiful tap down again. Taylor does well, burrows in. Handball, release. It's where they've got to go now, South, but they've gone sideways. Just got to attack a little bit more, Dave Moore. We saw them in that first quarter come back through centre corridor and actually open the game up and get a couple. Even they had a kick there before, they decided to go defensive side of the ground.
Yep.
Come to here, it's going to be difficult for Launceston to score from here. Come from here, get it back in the centre corridor and go.
You've got to
Right, you're
put
5
themselves
goals, 6,
in touch
you're
at
5 or
three-quarter
6
time.
goals down.
Yep.
You've only got the win for a certain amount of time. Here's Holt, taken in the tackle by Hines.
A very good first half, Grant Holt.
8 points up the Gold Coast Suns, half-time, just in the third quarter, and Carlton by 23 points over the lowly Eagles.
Gillo, short kick out, and as far as Holt, his quick kick, trying to find a teammate there. Kenny, now it's Taylor, taking the ball away inside 50 towards Farrelly. The kick fades, and it's out of bounds. Left foot pocket. The Bulldogs this quarter kicking to the southern end of the ground, favoured by the Breeze. It's 8-1 since quarter time. The Bulldogs led by a couple of goals at the first quarter break. Bounty throw in. Ollie Alexander up against Tina McCormack. He flips over the back to Tina McCormack. Gets connection nicely with Pulfreman, who torpedoes it out of defence. Bouncing footy. Ends up now with Wilkinson. Speculative handball. Oh, it's a bad bounce for Jake Hines. He was out and away if he got a good bounce. Jaden Hines now lays a tackle, but it's high on his South Launceston opponent. They do a bit of a suplex there. And just try and pick up the player there with the free kick. I think it's Charlesworth there with the free kick. He kicks it up towards half forward. Great kick, finds Lee leading out. Matthew Lee. Good players in last year's grand final. He's got Taylor who's presenting, but he doesn't go there. He decides to go longer. Funny old kick. Farrelly's there. That's a good mark. Taken there by Lucas. He kicked the goal in that first quarter. He's right on the boundary line. The ex-Blue, Sammy Lucas. So he's going to sell himself now for a shot. Right in front of the garages over there, Macca. What's their function for vehicles?
Little athletics stories,
yep.
I'd imagine. Rick will be able to tell me.
Sam Lucas wheels around, kicks towards goal. Not too bad. Just near side. One behind for the Bulldogs. Their first score of this third quarter. They're 3-4-22. They're trailing Launceston 8-11-59. Don't forget City Park Radio tonight from 25 minutes past 5. We'll be at the Elephant Sports Centre for the Tornadoes versus the Kilsyth Cobras.
Foz is covering off the big issues. Rick, what's in the garages over there? Little that stuff? All the gear.
All the gear.
Oh, all the grounds gear.
Yes, that's what I thought.
All the grounds gear. Ooh,
Morris with a short kick down to Pfeiffer.
big issues.
Pfeiffer, half back.
You're looking for a bit of a house extension too. Why don't you even give the sponsors a plug?
Pfeiffer, lovely kick here towards half forward into the Breeze. Over the back, evades Wilkinson. Taken there by Tom Graham. Now back to Woodcock Davis. He kicks high in the ground. Underneath is Avery Thomas. He takes the mark on his chest.
Yeah, he had multiple marks too, Foz, first half.
Yes.
5 or 6 marks, a couple this quarter. Thomas wheels and goes, kicks the ball beautifully, excellently over there to Alex Blackaby. So Blackaby inside, too far for Hines. Hines tucked near the scoreboard, back to Hyatt. He steps and turns and goes top of the square. Wilkinson there again. There's an excellent target. You can just get the feeling one's going to happen. That could be high. No, umpire says, give it to me. Player went to his knees, might have saved the tackler. Was Blackaby.
Young Blackaby made some ground to get up there.
Had a big pre-season, Alex. Wilkinson with a hit out. Goes to him in Blackaby. Stepping back. Here's Wooden. He's going to be tackled left foot. Can't get there into the Breeze. Flying over the top was Gillo. Who can forget that mark he took that day, Gillo, Foz?
Yes.
Big mark down at Windsor Park.
So
Going to be another ball up. Inside 50s into the Breeze for Launceston for Dave Gruber.
4.
Yeah.
4-3, so they're leading that in this quarter. Clark Williams gets a tap to his feet. Then another ball up. So dangerous position here for the Bulldogs. The Blues are just about 15 metres out from the goal here at the northern end. Wilkinson tries to fashion a shot. Now Blackaby again working hard. Quick kick out of defence, relieves the pressure for the Bulldogs. Are they going to play this deliberate? It's out of bounds without anyone touching it. Umpire says throw it in. So fairly lenient here in the NTFA on that one. Just 2 points the margin now between the Suns and the Kangaroos. Suns in front. A lot of chatter down below. And a good crowd for round one. 3 fixtures today. Deloraine visiting Scottsdale over the sidling. And tonight, under lights, it's North Launceston and Longford. As Taylor now torpedoes out of defence. It's a 2-on-1 situation. The Blues get back. Pfeiffer, he's got supportive from Morris. Decides to kick himself. Kicking a bit of hope there up the wing. Almost a mark to Presnell. Falls over the back. Lucas picks it up. Handballs to a teammate who kicks it inside 50. But it's all Launceston. And it's that man again, Zach Morris, who takes it inside defensive 50.
Zach Morris goes short to Boyd. They're like Batman and Robin at the moment. Wheeler. Good tackle, the Dogs. Good pressure. That's what we saw in the first quarter. Seb Page there for the Dogs. Lockie Plunkett was the one under pressure. Really loved this morning, I was reading an article. We look at Division 1 today, Hillwood and St Pat's.
Yes.
You remember back in the day when Hillwood and St Pat's used to play each other?
They flogged us.
And big Toddy Russell used to kick bags.
Yes,
Andrew Appleyard, I saw, kicked
correct.
Lots of goals.
Back in the day.
Back in the day. Were you playing back then?
Yes.
208 game superstar?
That's correct. Mostly reserves. But,
Yeah, I know, but
played the odd senior game.
my word.
Yes.
In the long sleeves. Yeah, no, but it's good to see them. What they say, 30 years since they played each other?
Yeah, wouldn't be that long.
Well, not quite that long.
Not that long, but
I'll
quite a while.
get the exact number.
So from the ball up there, we're in the centre of the ground at the moment. And, the boys in the boundary tell me that Lenny Faulkner's got a bit of work on his hamstring being done. We can see that here from our commentary position. So hopefully young Lenny is okay there. Ethan Conway just about served his 15 minutes. He's on the bench.
Interesting to see what happens when he goes back on.
Yes, Palfreyman kicks it a mile in the air. Gets over the 15 metres though, so it'll be a mark if someone can take it. They can't. Working hard there was Wheeler. Doing well though was Munting there. Getting the ball away. Thomas Munting. But it's going to be a downfield free kick, I think. Took my eye off the ball there. The players going down with a little bit of cramp here. South Launceston in possession. Short kick from Lucas towards the boundary line. Not making much use of this breeze at the moment. It's out of bounds, far side.
Rochalee have kicked the first couple against Lilydale Foz, and he would have kicked the first against St Pat's in the Division 1 games.
AFL, Carlton well in front. And so you'd hope they would be if you're a Blues supporter. It'd be sort of crisis if they got beaten by the West Coast.
Kangas by 2 points against the Suns.
Presnell on the ball, but it's a free kick. It's coming back. It's going to go to Lockie Presnell. Handballs now towards Avery Thomas. To Palfreyman. Nicely now to Boyd. They link up well through the middle to Launceston. Boyd inside 50. Hines crashes the pack. Can't take the mark. But I think he crashed the pack illegally, says the umpire, with no real intent to take the ball. So we'll come back here to Charlesworth for South Launceston. Young skipper doing a good job there, deep in defence. Plays on. There's a spot up here in Max Dawkins, but Boyd gets there first, takes the mark.
That's 5 intercept marks again already for Launceston.
Yes, racking him up there across half-back. Woodcock Davis gets the handball away. Towns can't take it with him. Taken there. Blackaby snaps. First goal for Launceston. No. Off to the left, one behind. 8-12-60 plays 3-4-22.
So South Launceston, they had 2-2-14 on the board in quarter one, and they're still only 3-4-22. A 7-goal quarter to Launceston in the second quarter just blew this game wide open. Not a real lot happening in the first 15 minutes of this quarter, to be fair. Woodcock Davis just goes up in the air again, kicks it to the biggest man on the ground in Wilkinson. There's a free kick, high. It's going to be the youngster in Ryan Shipp.
Back from Bridgenorth this year, Macca?
Yeah, come back with the coach. Good career move, isn't it?
Yes.
Shipp. Inside 50, ball holds up. Good work, Woodcock Davis with the left fist. Well, fumbling was Graham, good enough to get away with it. South look to repel through Page. Page Close to the boundary line. Looks for his good mate in Ollie Alexander. Ball comes inside. Doing well there was Lenny Faulkner. Good to see he's up and about. Here's Clark Williams. He did well, but then turned the ball over. Here's Hines. He's going to go by hand. He's smart enough to go by foot. What decision-making. He finds his brother in Jaden Hines. That was class, Foz. He looked to go the handball. Realised he had enough time on the left to come back and kick it. And Hines goes short.
I think that's the Prince.
And the Prince... Tell us who the Prince is, Dave.
Lockie Presnell.
Lockie Presnell, the Prince. Well, Lockie Presnell. These are the boys like, Presnell's had a couple of years at TSL senior level, coming now to the NTFA. It's going to be a good player for them. Former prospect Hawk Jr. Presnell, 30 metres out, front of the scoreboard, leans back, holds up in the breeze, doesn't make the distance, doesn't have to though. It's a mark to Launceston.
It's young Plunkett.
And young Plunkett, we mentioned his good size. He just floated through the pack, no body on him.
17 years of age.
And Plunkett is going to have the kick. So this is going to be goal number 9. 44-point lead if he kicks this. Kangaroos. I'm going to report there, Foz, that Colby McKercher might be injured, so we'll get some more on that. Former Launceston player, of course. Here's Plunkett, leans back over the umpire's head, and they all rush to him, being his first goal for the senior club. Plunkett gets his first goal, and as I mentioned, Launceston 9-12-66, lead by 44. South Launceston 3-4, 22, 14 and a half minutes gone.
Move was started there by Farquhar, a nice little handball. Geez, he looks fit and athletic, does Dylan Farquhar.
Yep.
And you know him as a forward in his junior years mainly, but he's taken that ruck position as something he's going to take to the next level.
He stripped so much off, and I know they were that excited by him last year at Bridgenorth. Even invited him in as an overage devil for a few training sessions, and he's a competitor. He knows where he's at, and just he's below the knees. And his ruck work today, as well as Clark Williams has tried, Farquhar's just got well on top.
Now, Chris, Ethan Conway's back on.
Yes, he's back on now, so see how he goes.
Thank you. As the ball comes out now here towards Max Matthews. Gets it backwards. There to the player in Logan Smith. The Holt. And I think it's Dawkins over there, the youngster, number 91, taking the mark.
It's him.
On his debut. Dawkins spears the pass to Clark Williams. He might have spilt the mark there. Got his hand stood on the chest, but couldn't quite take the grab. Now it's a contested footy. The ball up on the far side. Oliver Wright. Throws it up the umpire. Blackaby with a short kick away. Close to the boundary again. Conway keeps it in. This way, that away. Manages to keep the Sharon inside the line. Then kicks up the wing. Players fly high. And a good mark taken for South there. I think that might be Munting. Back there, Thomas Munting. Goes the 45 kick to Smith. Handball straight away. Backwards to Woodcock Davis. He goes further sideways to Page. They work it out here through half back. Page kicks to the wing. Brock Kenny there, uses his body pretty well. Morrison there, Kenny takes it, has some space, gets to 60, blasts away. Not sure whether he's going for goal or what he was doing there. But in the end, it's gone through for a behind. Perhaps could have used that ball a bit better going inside 50, Macca.
Yeah, or at least kick it to the top of the square and put them under pressure. The defenders for Launceston.
Today's broadcast brought to you by Elgas. For your LPG needs statewide, talk to the locals with knowledge. Phone 13 11 61. Here's Matthew.
8 points up, North Melbourne against the Suns in the Barossa. You like the gather round concept, Dave?
Yeah, I do, Macca. Yeah, it's very good.
Adelaide seems just a perfect spot for it. Everyone travels in, and they're looking to re-sign it for a few years. I think the South Australian government. Carlton 40 lead, West Coast 17. Jeffries, bottom of the pack. Wilkinson, here's Dawkins. Left foot, inside 50. Lee's there. Another intercept mark. Well, free kick. Free kick is paid groups. Don't put it down. And 50. The 50's for, but seemed quite quick after he paid the free kick.
He's had a good game, Jacob Boyd, Macca.
Oh, look, as I said, 2 years ago he was playing for, 3 years ago he was playing for North Melbourne in the VFL.
Yes.
Morris, mark inside the centre circle, goes wide to Hines, steps backward, that's Jake Hines. Out to Faulkner, bit of room. Inside 50, not a great kick. There, good mark in defence by Logan Smith. Haven't minded him.
No.
Smith comes out to Clark Williams. One, bite of the cherry. Pressure on from Lenny Faulkner. That's the one he just needs to take the big fella in Williams, doesn't he?
Yeah. I think he thought he had pressure from behind, but
when you're that big, you don't worry about it.
it's a boundary throw in. So a rare visit to this side of the ground, especially in that pocket. Haven't seen much play there today. Front position. Slapped down there by Wilkinson in the ruck. Straight to Wooten. He kicks it high inside 50. Hyatt attacks the ball. Big fly there from Ben Hyatt. Off hands. Munting gets the handball away. Evades Palfreyman. Spinning out beautifully is Taylor. And he gets a kick away here towards Kruger, who takes the mark defensive side of the centre circles.
Kruger goes short. Looks awkward but effective. Here's Kenny showing some speed. Better kick this time. Farrelly tries to jump, can't take it. Bottom of the pack. Is it going to be a goal? Hits the post. The youngster in Max Matthews would have been nice on debut. So Brock Kenny done well those first couple there, showing good toe.
It was better vision that time, wasn't
That's
it?
a nice kick straight up the middle. Finds Jeffries. Jeffries to Morris. Oh, little ear massage. Gets away with it. There's a South defender. Here's Wooden. Inside 50 to Hines. Over his head. 3-on-1. South London repel. They come up here now looking for Towns. Avery Thomas sits on Towns' head. Can't take the mark. Jeez, he floats, doesn't he, Thomas?
That would have been one for the highlight reel, that one.
Just that kick out, though, like we talked about in that other quarter where Woodcock Davis just couldn't really do much with the kick-ins.
Yep.
Lonnie take the kick-ins and spot Jeffrey up right at the top of the 50 and they're away. Right? It's just those little things structurally that maybe could make South a better team next time.
Presnell, handball now to Jeffries at close quarters. He kicks it inside 50. Hines is there, Hyatt's there, he's got it now, Benny Hyatt. He gets away, handball sideways, looking here for Faulkner. He'll be under pressure, gets it back here towards Wheeler, slight fumble. Now Jaden Hines in space, 45 out, kicks towards goal and Northern End. It holds up in the breeze and Woodcock Davis takes the mark in defence.
Ollie Woodcock Davis, he's seen plenty of the footy. Goes short to Graham, started the game really well. Found a bit hard to keep going in that second quarter. Graham, Holt, 2-on-1. Morris raffles it with Tin and McCormack. And Morris has given away the free kick. At South Launceston, Lee has a player forward of the footy, can't find him. That was Sammy Lucas. Avery Thomas busts through. Holding the footy, no. Umpire says give it to me, a couple little afters. North Melbourne by a point, Carlton by 29 in the AFL. We'll give you some NTFA scores in a moment. Palfreyman, another clearance to him, puts Jeffries under pressure. Holt. Umpire says give it to me. So early on, Foz, in the, what do we call this now, the Division 1. St Patrick's 14 lead Hillwood 8 and Rochelle 12 lead Lilydale yet to score.
Grooves, some stats for us to this point?
Clearances, Launceston 11 to 6 to South Launceston. Inside 50s, 13 to Launceston and 7 for South Launceston.
Game at Scottsdale about to start, Foz, against Deloraine, and of course North Lonnie and Longford tonight.
Round the corner kick from Palfreyman up the wing. At the feet there of Wilkinson. Couldn't take it with him. Here's Page now working hard. He also couldn't pick it up. Wilkinson, back now, Gillo, skillful. Handball wasn't great though. His main taps it sideways towards Charlesworth. Charlesworth lays on top of it. Taken away from here by Conway. Conway now to Wilkinson. 60 out. Kicks to a 1-on-1. Hyatt, front position. Good spoil from behind. At the bootlaces there. Couldn't be taken by Blackerby. Hyatt tries to break a tackle. Gets tackled. Gets the handball away. And the South defence there through Woodcock Davis clears. Only as far as Palfreyman.
Palfreyman, been really good, the veteran. Top of the 50. Ball's going to fall short. Well done to Farrelly. No, it wasn't Charlesworth. The umpire said he didn't hold it long enough. He butters up, does Polfram looked to be going out of bounds. The ball bounces on its end. Goes to Woodcock Davis. Across over the top there to Charlesworth. And they're away South Launceston. Couple of bounces on the far wing. There's 3. Max Matthews. He's an excellent runner, really good athlete. Looks for Farrelly, far side. The M&M lookalike. Ball goes out of bounds. A nice bit of run, but it's still on the defensive side of the ground, Dave Moore. Got to come back in centre if they can.
Yeah, nice there from Max Matthews.
Oh, look, he's a really good athlete.
16 years of age, 17?
He'll be turning 17 this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the boundary throw in. We've seen it in that part of the ground a lot today. Wilkinson doing a fair bit of ruck work. He just takes it with him and cruises off. Kicks towards the attacking side of centre. But Charlesworth did okay. Give and go there with Woodcock Davis. Short kick there looking for Tommy Graham. Overcooked it. Holt mops up. It's a handball backwards again there to Matthews. Kick inside 50, but they're very reliable. Seth Pfeiffer takes one of those intercept marks. Looks there for Morris. Dangerous kick. Morrison got in the way. But the Blues have the numbers here if they can pick it up. And Tina McCormack bursts through. Now to Presnell. Gets around, or he gets the ball knocked out of his hand. Now he gets a high tackle, and neither gets paid. So it's going to be a ball up. Could have been
I've heard
a couple of things there.
I thought if you step like that and the ball goes out, then it's holding the footy.
Yeah, well, it was either that or the high tackle that followed. But anyway, 50-50. It's now ball up, right half forward. Taken by big Tina McCormack to Boyd. Oh, sells the candy. Then the handball. Well taken there by Wooten. Takes the bounce. Gets confronted. Doesn't matter. He gets it away anyway towards Jeffries. Towards half forward. Kobe Main there in a battle. Did well against Farquhar Main. Now Charlesworth, who's been very reliable back there today. Shovels the ball out. We'll get a ball up here. Left half forward.
Wooden's one of those kids, Foz. Plays off about 1 or 2 handicap at golf. Smart, clever. Can do anything. Basketball. Just that movement.
Getting close towards three-quarter time. How long left, Macca?
About 12 seconds.
12 seconds again. Magic 12 seconds as Faulkner takes the ball. He somehow gets it out. Conway gets tackled. Seb Page. Nice little handball towards Dawkins. Taps it on to Taylor. And that's three-quarter time here at Youngtown Oval. Didn't reach any great heights in that quarter of the game. Just the 1-goal 3 there to South Launceston. To Launceston, and 3 behinds to South Launceston. So at three-quarter time, it's 9-12-66 the Blues. The Bulldogs 3-6-24. And I just felt in that quarter, Macca fatigue sort of took hold a little bit.
South were trying. They just went too defensive side. Launceston just held the game up once again across half back with those likely trio now, probably if you put Seth Pfeiffer in there with Boyd and also Morris. Hard for Launceston to score into the wind. But, yeah, it was really a lot about nothing, to be honest.
It's a big quarter for South coming up, isn't it? Because they've done pretty well. They've been well and truly competitive in this game. They led it quarter time. But now they're defending that breeze that keeps stiffening.
Well, as I said, I would just roll all my half forwards up. Centre clearances, just make it. You know, even if you don't score yourself, just because percentage.
Yes.
You know, it's his first game, but percentage can mean a lot come the end of the year. What is it, top 4, Dave?
Yes, correct.
Top 4. So you'd imagine if you think North Lonnie and Lonnie, then South are probably going to be fighting it out with a Longford.
Yep.
And then Deloraine and Scottsdale, which the game's about to begin up there at Scottsdale. We'll keep you updated on that one as the women come on to warm up. The goal kickers, Foz, for Launceston. Archie Wilkinson leads all comers with 3. Jake Hines with 2. Singles to Jeffries, Hyatt, Jaden Hines and Lockie Plunkett on debut. And still the 3 goals for South Launceston with none that quarter. Morrison, Farrelly and Sam Lucas.
The Bulldogs ladies are out there warming up. Of course, they're coming up. You can see the live stream of that game after hours. South Launceston versus Launceston, the women's competition. Great to see streaming in all 3 regions this year, in WFL, NTFA and the SFL. Quickly, Macca, AFL?
Yeah, AFL scores level at the Barossa, North Melbourne and Gold Coast, 75 apiece. And half-time, Carlton by 29 against the Eagles.
We'll come back after a short break. We'll have groups of stats and a report from the boys on the boundary. Back in a moment here on City Park Radio. Yes, thanks, Elgas, for your support once again in season 2025. Don't forget tonight we've got the basketball coming up from 25 minutes past 5. We've got the Tornadoes versus the Kilsyth Cobras as the South Huddle have broken up. Launceston still there being addressed by Jake Hines. And Groobs, you got your stats ready for us?
Yeah, head-outs to three-quarter time. South Launceston 15 to Launceston 48. Clearances, South Launceston 24 to Launceston's 41. Inside 50s, 30 for South Launceston, 45 for Launceston. Marks inside 50, South Launceston 6, 10 for Launceston. Intercept marks, 10 for South Launceston, 22 taken by Launceston.
Wow.
And free kicks, South Launceston 20 and 12 for Launceston.
So we've got Chris Sayer, who's been down there at the South Launceston Huddle. What do you got for us, Chris?
Yeah, Grant Holt addressed his players. He sort of instructed them to take risks, don't hang your head, play to your strengths, all the positive things to try and play this game out. I think they've sort of forfeited the game. They reckon they're going to lose, but let's fight it out and maintain their standards. Here's Tony.
Meanwhile, Jake was a little bit disappointed with the quarter. He felt the enthusiasm died down a little bit. Wants to get back to what they did in the second quarter. Have fun, celebrate the goals and keep the momentum going. There were quite a few rub-downs down there, mainly on the hammies. Jake referred to that. He also said that it's also happening for South, so let's just see how we work. But he really wants them to play their brand of footy and run the game out.
No worries, boys. Any major injury concerns other than those rub-downs?
No, just rub-downs of mine. Chris is just indicating the same. And I'd just like to remind you of my prediction before the game.
Okay, you said 10 goals and it's 42 points. But there you go, Webby. Okay, thanks to the boys there on the boundary. Macca.
Gold Coast Suns have hit the lead in the gather round. And also, unfortunately, Harry Mackay's been subbed out with a head clash. So when things are struggling for you, they just don't seem to work. Farquhar up and over the top, comes down only as far as Dawkins on debut. Moves well, the youngster. Hits it out now in front of Holt, moved to half forward. Sees the footy, can't pick it up. Nice to get one against the breeze here for the Dogs. Taylor, good strong tackle on Gillow. The umpire says, give it to me.
Of course, in round one, Mac, we often see cramping in this last quarter. Doesn't matter how many pre-season games you play. That first game under pressure. There's some of the boundary throw-in. Clark Williams gets the tap down to Taylor, who's dispossessed. Blackaby would have got in the back there of an opponent. Quick kick out is into the cars, out on the far side, out of bounds on the full. So the leading goal kickers at the moment in the game, 3 to Wilkinson and 2 to Hines for Launceston. Multiple goal kickers. It's taking a while for the ball to be retrieved.
Scottsdale have got the first up at Scottsdale. 1-1-7. Lee Deloraine yet to score. And the latest at Shark Park is St Pat's and Hillwood all square.
Okay, keep you up to date during our last quarter. Of course, we've got the early start. You can keep up to date on the Play HQ app. There's the ball taken here by Jeffries. Spots up Wilkinson, who takes a skillful mark. Reined it in one-handed. Leans back now. Goes wider. Gillow takes the mark. They can launch here from 70 out. And ball sideways to Jaden Hines. Centering kick. All South Launceston, and Woodcock Davis takes the mark in defence.
Woodcock Davis. I said he's seen plenty of the footy. I'd like him just to be able to use it or attack a bit more or something just to stop giving the ball back to Launceston, which he nearly has there to Gillow. Gillow hasn't heard the whistle. It's a free kick. It's going to go on the far side, South Lonnie, Sam Lucas. So Sam Lucas, defensive side of the ground, comes up, hits Taylor. Taylor, the evergreen Taylor.
He's got an important role to play this year, hasn't he?
Yeah,
being
leading
that
these
experienced
boys.
player.
He said he's taken a few under the wing. So Taylor gets it to level with the square. Morris there again, standing tall. Well done, South Launceston inside 50. Holt, but outmarked there in defence by Seth Pfeiffer.
The old-fashioned mismatch.
Seth Pfeiffer comes up, finds Morris. Morris across half-back, has a runner on here for the Launceston player in Blackaby. He went to go, he stopped, and now he goes. Conway, playing the villain role today, Ethan Conway, Ollie Alexander. Umpire says, give it to me. Yes, he'll go to the tribunal this week.
Yes,
Unless he takes, they still do set penalties. Unless he takes a set penalty or wants to fight it, I suppose. He'll get something offering. Farquhar pulled out of the way. Had to be. Clark Williams gives a free kick. And Dylan Farquhar will take it. Any stats at three-quarter time from the boys, Foz?
Yes, I'll get a bit of a look. Keep commentating.
Farquhar just been dominant ever since quarter time, to be honest. Goes to the top of the square. Wilkinson, another one. Just big, strong. He's high on the up to Conway. He'll go back. No, he tries to step inside. Gives it back to Wilkinson. Has a look at the goals. He's got it. Archie Wilkinson. That's 4.
Been a very impressive debut, Macca, for the Blues. We know he's a quality player, of course.
Yeah, multiple goals.
Yep.
In the NTFA in the previous years. So that's 4. And Launceston have kicked the 10, 12, 72. Remember, they didn't score one in the first quarter. South Launceston 3-6, 24.
Yeah, impressive game from Archie Wilkinson with those 4 goals, but they're just lifted since quarter time. They were challenging that first quarter, 2-0. Since then, it's been 10-1 for the Blues. So South Launceston, there's certainly some signs there. Got 2 young players in the middle at the moment, Dawkins and Matthews. So great experience for them against more experienced opponents. Up they go now. Faulkner, beautiful tap to Hines. He's tackled straight away by Taylor. There'll be a secondary ball up. See Park Radio Sport tonight at Elfin Sports Centre, and also Good Friday game from next week. Next Friday, obviously, at 6:25. Join the City Park Radio team. We've got another ball up. Just about 5 minutes into this last quarter. Boys will grab an interview after the game. And on the boundary is Palfreyman now. Handball's up to space. Taken here by Wooten, who's inside attacking 50. He's approaching attacking 50. Now gets it to Palfreyman. Palfreyman for goal from 50. Just off to the left, one behind. 10-13, 73. Plays 3-6, 24. So a weary Ollie Woodcock-Davis retrieves the ball. And he'll bring the ball back into play.
Skipped away a little bit, the Suns here now. 13 points, Foz. And still Carlton at half-time, 53-24. So Max Matthews in the back pocket. Having a look. Comes near side of the ground. To us here. Oh, getting up was the Prince, as Fozzie called him. Lockie Presnell. And getting taken in the tackle was his former St Pat's premiership teammate, Cale Fraser. So ball up. No one took it. Here's Wooden. Let's see if he can break the 50. Kick the goal. Lucas Wooden starts it wrong side and stays there. Geez, his breakout from stoppage has been a highlight today, Dave.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's going to have a big season. The Devils play again next week, I think. Sure, we'll have to check
play
that
one of the academy teams on... No, over Easter they don't.
No, okay,
they play Anzac Day up in Sydney, I believe.
Okay.
Against the Sydney Academy.
So a lot of those young Launceston North players will play next week.
Yeah.
Mark taken there by Morris. He's in double figures now with Marks. Kicks inside 50. Can't find a target. Wilkinson's got it. Can't release it. Ball up.
Yeah, we'll confirm that, yes. So the next game is April the 25th.
Yes.
Versus the Sydney Academy out
Anzac
of Blacktown. On Anzac Day, a Friday.
Your favourite ground, Blacktown?
It's not favourite ground. It's an interesting place out there. Back in the day of the under-16s, I went out there for a week. It was a very, very long week. And then they play here, the Tassie Devils, on that May the 4th.
Right.
Which is the... Is that the Sandringham game?
Correct.
Yeah, so the senior Devils, I think it's a triple header. Might be a ladies' game as well, is there? An under-18 girls? I think it's three games.
Wooten releases now to Palfreyman. Snaps towards goal. I think he's judged it well. As Brady Palfreyman shakes his fist there at the supporters. And he gets another goal for Launceston. Smart play once again by Wooten. And we've got a blood rule as well in back play. But he first for the day, Brody? Yes. First goal.
He's been really good. Stoppages. Did you get those stats or not? Did you get any from the boys?
Darren might have just forgotten Darren Lovell from the Launceston stats team. I'll have another check, but he's a busy man.
I'd like to know, Palfreyman, I reckon, has had a fair few clearances.
I mean, Palfreyman and Gillow, the usual suspects, I mean, they just play well consistently. You don't notice them after a while, but They certainly do a good job.
Look, they've had a couple of tough years, haven't they, in the TSL? Yep. So good for someone like Polferman to, it doesn't matter what competition you're playing, you just get the opportunity to win a game of football.
Got a facial injury here. It doesn't look great there for Brendan Taylor. Nose covered in blood. We'll get the boys to check that one out. Hope he's okay. As we said, he's a really important player for the Blues.
Now 8 goals. 9 goals.
Back in the middle, Matthew McGee for City Park Radio Sport.
56 points. Farquhar tapping it to wherever he wants. Here's Wooden. Look at him go. He gets down low to the ground. Here's Polferman. Another clearance for him. Another one for Dave Gruber to chalk up for Lonnie. Taking the ball is Jaden Hines. Did well there was Charlesworth. Tried hard all game. Different skip away now, Gold Coast by 19.
Chris Sayer, I think, have you got the mic down there? I think Tony's got the mic, so we'll get down to the boys maybe in a minute for a report on
Alexander steps into the tackle. 40 metres out from goal. Ethan Conway gets up, and it's another ball up.
Chris Sayer texts me it's just a blood nose, so no breaks there.
9 minutes gone. Ball goes up in the air. Umpire will call play on that. Was rugby style. Ball comes out. Farquhar is going to be first there. Doesn't bounce well for him. It bounces well for Holt. He goes by hand. Wasn't ready for it. Was the South Lonnie player in Wally Woodcock-Davis. In fact, it was Summers. Here we go. Launceston. Ryan Shipp. Farquhar. Ball goes out of bounds. Miller Hodge keen to get a touch.
Yeah, shoulder injury. We heard from Scott Stevens at half-time. He's not too far away. Gee, he'd be a great acquisition for their already good team.
Him and Thurlow.
Yes.
2 good runners, good users. Did he say he wasn't far away, or did he say I thought he might have been struggling to get back at all?
Okay.
Is that what I read? I heard.
I'll have to check on that one. As Blackaby now breaks through, takes possession, handball sideways, can't find a target. Farrelly goes in. Little handball there by Faulkner, only as far as Holt. He picks it up, he's tackled from behind, and the play is getting a little bit scrappy here in the last quarter as the players are getting tired. Well, we might have a reversal on that injury to Brendan Taylor report. We'll get to that in a second, according to Tony Webb. As it comes out to Hines, keeps his feet, then handballs 40 to Polferman, snaps towards goal. Brody Polferman! No, didn't quite get it enough from the hook.
Bent behind the post.
One behind. 11-15, 81 plays 3-6-24. Tony, what do you got?
According to the trainers who went out to see Brendan Taylor and Dolly Woodcock, that's a break. Definitely been to it and, broken.
Broken nose. Brendan Taylor is the report there from Tony. So hopefully he might not keep him out for too long. Wheeler towards goal. Can't quite get it to bend to the left. And that's another behind there, peppering in this last quarter. 11-16, 82 to 3-6-24. Grooves, we haven't got to you for a while. What do you got for us?
Oh, it's just Launceston.
More
Another
of the same.
dominant quarter. Yeah, already up to 9 inside 50s just to South Launceston's 1. Clearances 7-2.
Okay, dominating in all facets at the moment. As the kick will have to be retaken from fullback. As that's the Suns by 19 and Carlton by 29 in the AFL. Is Macca McGee.
Woodcock-Davis goes short, finds Graham. Graham goes short himself, good hit up, good lead. Maxie Dawkins. Stay down to 16 squad, Max Dawkins. Tell you one thing, Foz, if you get to see Max Dawkins play futsal, indoor soccer, he is unbelievable.
Okay.
Just call him the wizard. Unreal. Here they come off half-back. Good mark, Farquhar. No, Morris again it is, sorry. Morris again, of course it is. Goes short to Polferman. Polferman, short again, good use of the footy, Presnell. And Presnell, nice to get some highlights in this last quarter, Foz. Boys haven't had to get too many on the highlights reel. Here's a good lead and good mark to the big fella in Wilkinson, and he's looking for a handful. He's got 4. Big Archie Wilkinson.
It was a strong mark on the lead. It was a great delivery, has to be said.
Well, it was just good play once again. Morris intercept, good use of the footy, and then the inside 50 kick. Having that target, that big, strong body. They don't get any shorter, Dave.
That's right.
And
Archie
here he is.
shooting for a bag.
And a little fifer. So Wilkinson from in front of the gum tree side of the ground. Drops the footy. If it gets on the breeze, it'll be good. It gets on the breeze, it goes the other way. So a behind to Wilkinson. 13 minutes gone here in the final quarter at Youngtown. Early start today. Fozzie's got to get to the basketball.
11-17-83, or 11-16-82, beg your pardon, to 3-6-24.
Can't get Rick. Sometimes he's in front of you, Foz. Sometimes he's behind.
Got
to work a bit closer here.
That's it.
He's on the responses product, Rick.
We're here a few times this year, so we're looking forward to working with Rick. We'll get here in a couple of weeks, a big North Launceston game. It's a kick inside 50. Mark taken there by Munting. Munting. Inside defensive 50. Spots up Holt, who's tried hard all day. It's a real live wire in the first quarter when South were on top. He gives it up here though to Presnell. Presnell to Wheeler. Wheeler to Wooten. Wooten kicks towards goal. Hines is the only chance for Launceston. Taking a good mark in defence as Ollie Woodcock-Davis. He plays on now. He has an outlet here in the skipper in Charlesworth, who takes the mark at halfback.
Charlesworth turns inside. Page. Seb Page had Dawkins on into the centre corridor. Probably would have gone there. Oh, he does well, does Graham. Should have got the free kick. Both umpires missed it.
It's crammed up.
Morris. Centre circle. Boyd. Pulverman. He's got Fraser bearing down. He goes long. And it's going to be a free kick downfield.
And much to the chagrin of the crowd.
And it's going to be a free kick to Jake Hines in the square. A little bit of charity for the coach. He'll hardly miss. Just there, though, just decisions. He had Max Dawkins on, did Seb Page.
Yeah.
Back into that centre on the angles. You know, they talk about cut the angles, break the angles. And if he'd have gone back into Max, they'd have been away. And they did that a couple of times in the first quarter.
Yep.
To hold, especially, got the goals. He goes down the line, turnover through Morris again. And now it's going to be a free kick goal. I think there was a lot in it. I didn't see it as I was watching the ball. But a little bit of contact, probably not necessary from Fraser. Hines, 15 metres out. He has 3. 2 in the second and now 1 in the last to Jake Hines. And that's his third. And Launceston, 11-17-83. South Launceston, 3-6-24.
Question for you, Mac. How do you think Jake Hines will use himself position-wise through the year?
Oh, I think exactly what he's doing today. Did you put that goal down? Oh, he hasn't. It's 12. Come on, Rick. It's 12-17. I just looked at the amount of goals. 3 goals for the quarter. 12-17. Rick, he was having a chat.
There it is.
He was having a chat.
Just back to Jake Hines. So
he'll do what he needs to do, mate. He'll deep forward, midfield when needed, especially probably against the North Lonnie.
Yeah.
He could kick a bag at one stage this year, I reckon. I wouldn't be surprised even if he, depending on he's feeling, a little rest here and there, coach from the sideline, see how the boys are going.
Today's broadcast brought to you by El Gas. For your LPG needs statewide, talk to the locals with knowledge. Phone 13 11 61.
12-17-89 the score.
To 3-6-24, so the lead is now substantial. Here comes young Dawkins on the left foot towards half forward. Will they spoil each other there? McCormack, Tina McCormack and Morris. McCormack on the follow-up. He's tackled by 3 Bulldogs. And it'll be a ball up on attacking 50. Inside 50 just quarter groups. It continues to grow.
2-13 for Launceston.
2 to South, 13 to Launceston. Out it comes here. Jaden Hines can't take possession. There's Dawkins again. Impressive. He's probably tackled without it. The umpire saw that. And he'll come back to young Max Dawkins. The worse for wear there after being thrown to the ground. Since quarter time, 12 goals to 1 in Launceston's favour. But we still think the Bulldogs have shown enough in this game. So some of their youngsters will develop through the season, no doubt. Dawkins, one of those. Kick not great. Gives up now to Faulkner. Back to the centre of the ground. Dawkins fights on. Here's Wheeler. Handball sideways to Presnell. Back to Wheeler. Back to Presnell. Can they finish the job? Just the handball's a bit too hot for Presnell. He can't pick it up. Now there's plenty of Bulldogs back here. Dawkins did well to follow the play down. He gets the short kick. It's back to Presnell though. Swings for goal, Lockie Presnell. And it sneaks in for a behind. 12-18-90 to 3-6-24. Macca, I think the Suns are home by the look of it there in the
Yes, they kicked the first of the quarter. It's only early days, Foz. 26 points now, the Suns.
Carlton?
Only 3 minutes in. Carlton started the third, up by 23 points. As I mentioned, Harry Mackay out with a concussion.
Main clears out the ball for South Launceston.
Main goes long, goes deep, out to that side. Oh! Good leap there from
Wooten.
Wooten.
That is mark of the day. Is it Wooten? Let's have a look
It's
there.
not Wooden now, but he flew, I think.
Oh, yeah, no, it's Wilkinson. Wilkinson inside 50. I think the target of Farquhar has moved deep forward off hands.
I think it was
out of
Avery
bounds.
Thomas that flew.
There's a few of them that flew.
Yeah. It definitely wasn't a mark. Good highlights, though.
So boundary thrown right beside the left behind post. Deep in attack at the southern end for South Launceston. For Launceston. The Blues well in front in this game now. 66 points. Farquhar nicely. Wooten backwards. Tries to find the teammate there in Gillow. Smart play. Spots up. Presnell, I think it is. In the forward pocket is indeed Lockie Presnell.
Once again, though, Foz, I just think South just keep going out to that defensive side pocket, you know.
Yep.
Is there something else they could do with those kickouts and just break it up a little bit?
Lockie Presnell in range with the breeze behind him. Now to set it out to the face of goal. He wheels around. Does so. Not a bad kick.
It's a bet on it, no.
Just to the left. One behind. 12-19, 91 to 3-6-24. The biting memory for me for Lockie Presnell. He got the kick that James Leake marked in the Sardis Grand Final. I did call it, by the way. Short kick comes out straight to Wheeler. So Woodcock Davis, whose kicking's been pretty good today, just on that occasion, tried a little bit too cute. And has found Joseph Wheeler, who's been one of the best for Launceston, I've got to say. He's linked up well. But, some shoulder injuries over the time, hence the right shoulder tape. So he's about 30 metres out, 45-degree angle to the southern end. Kicks for goal, and just to the right-hand side. 12-20, 92 to 3-6-24. Macca, I'll hand over to you.
Another kick out. Racking up these stats, Ollie Woodcock Davis with 20 behinds from Launceston. Goes long again to that spot. Here's Thomas, Avery Thomas, up and under kick. Taken half a mark because it only went half the distance. For South London was Ollie Alexander. He was tackled and the umpire's going to ball it up. So 20 minutes gone. The game has really petered out in the second half. It's dominant. Here's a highlight though. This is Wooten. He shimmies. He goes inside 50 over the back. Conway taps it into the goal square. Main gets it. Tucks the ball under the arm. The big headband. Goes short and finds Towns. Towns looks for the angle. Good. A little bit of that. Fozzie is what we're after. Change the angles. Munty goes wide. Holt. Every time they do it, Foz, they're away. Just need to do it a little bit more. It's Sammy Lucas. Good. Inboard to Max Dawkins. So Dawkins. Oh, he misses the target in short, but he's got enough time there as Sammy Lucas. Inboarded Towns. It started with him on the halfback flank. Not a great kick. Goes out of bounds on the full.
It's better from South Launceston.
Well, just that little angle kick here
Yes.
just starts and it makes things just different, doesn't it? And it's hard for a Morris then or a Pfeiffer or a Boyd to sit up behind the ball because they've just changed that angle a little bit. And it just makes a complete difference.
Nice mark, Tina McCormack. Handballs it off. Wilkinson. Kicks up towards half forward. Spots up Hyatt.
That was Plunkett.
Plunkett, sorry, yep. They look alike, those two.
Don't they? Look at the size.
Hyatt now launches for goal. Gee, he had Farquhar leading right at him. Probably a better option because the blaze away didn't come off. 12-21, 93.
33 scoring shots to 9, David.
Yes. 36-24, and we're up now to 18 inside 50s to 3.
Carlton by 30, Suns by 26.
Both correct in the tipping. As Woodcock Davis now.
You've gone out on a limb, kicking the Blues, Foz.
No, I'm in front. I'm in front, so playing the percentages.
You've used your joker, haven't you?
I have. Charlesworth now at half back. Short kick. Comes off all right. The groans here in the box, but it came off all right there to Hunter Farrelly.
St Pat's by 11 at Hillwood, and also Rochalee 53 lead Hillwood 9.
Hot favourites for Division 1 Rochalee. Here it comes now through Seb Page, who's got forward. Kicks up here towards Logan Smith, who takes the mark. Good play there from the Bulldogs. And Logan Smith, even into the breeze, should be in range. He's about 30 out, about 10 metres in from the boundary.
Scottsdale 5-1-31, lead Deloraine 2 straight 12.
Don't forget tonight we've got North Launceston playing Longford. Get along to that one. UTAS Stadium. Logan Smith for goal. Looks okay. Floats through the big sticks. Goal to South Launceston. Well done, Logan Smith. And well played to the Bulldogs. 4-6-30. Launceston 12, 21,
First goal
91.
for the club. Where's he come from, Rick? Burnie, Logan Smith.
Yep.
Unlike a Smith to come from Burnie, Foz.
Yeah, a few good players with that surname down there over their journey. But yeah, good couple of minutes here for South Launceston.
You can just see that. They've just chipped the ball a little bit, but they've changed the angles. I keep banging on about it, but it's quite simple. And they can just get away and just do some things. There's been some of the kids too. You know, Page has been involved, Max Dawkins been involved. You've got a 15, 16-year-old here in Max Dawkins. You know, centre square attendance is up against, you know, your Polframans and Wootons, and
Gillow.
Great for someone like Gillow. Great for someone like Max Dawkins.
So in the middle, umpire Oliver Wright throws it up. Here's Macca.
Farquhar, another hit out.
Beautiful.
Here's Gillow on the left. Goes out in front of Wilkinson out to that famous gum tree here at Youngtown. Ball goes up in the air. Literally straight up. Alexander comes through. Ball on the deck. Launceston from the pocket. This is going to be a great goal if it is. I think it is a goal.
I've got my glasses on the goal kicker.
I think it's the youngster there, the Launceston Lenny Faulkner.
It is.
Lenny Faulkner, well, he got it on the right breeze. He picked the ball up, and Lenny Faulkner's kicked a miraculous goal, a nice highlight to finish the game here for Launceston. Launceston, 13 goals, 21, 99. Nearly to the 100. South Launceston, 4-6-30. Lenny Faulkner, great goal.
Yeah, it certainly was. And you know, he had a good season last year. He had to shoulder more responsibility with a number of players leaving the Blues.
Yep.
He's grown in stature a little bit.
Yep.
And a fine goal there, fine snap. So the margin back to 69 points.
You know, and good to see, you know, he's a Lonnie Junior. We talked
Yes.
to Scuba about,
Yep.
you know, Auskick, NTJFA, all the way through.
Absolutely.
You know, even at still only, 19 years of age, Lenny Faulkner. So great to see him still at the club.
Graham gets it out now towards Max Matthews, inside 50. And strong back there is Tina McCormack. Gee, they've got some height in that back line, Macca.
Yeah, well,
McCormack.
Tina's someone that could play in the ruck as well,
Yeah,
you know.
that's right.
If they need to push Farquhar forward, or if Farquhar needs a spell. We've seen a different sort of ruckman.
I think
McCormack.
Tina's better suited to the back line. That's why I think the recruiting of Farquhar has sort of relieved him to that.
Yeah. He's a bit more of a bullocking ruckman, you know, like
Yep.
boundary throw-ins and stuff like that. But Farquhar's been excellent with some of his tap work.
Here he is again in action against Clark Williams. He gets to it and then once again taps it straight down the throat of Wooten. Right on cue, Matthew McGee is kicking out towards half forward. It's a loose footy. Who can run onto it? That's Seb Page. Takes it, shrugs a tackle. Positive play. Kicks to half forward. He's got a target there. Nice spring and mark, Logan Smith. Handballs now to Dawkins. Dawkins from 50. Kicks towards the goal square. It fades in the breeze. They might get a stoppage here. Still in play.
Zach Morris won't like that much. He's taken over a dozen marks today, and now he's on a poster.
Gee, Spring Hill Jack there, Logan Smith. The number 9 there for South Launceston. Now a chance here for a late goal. They've kicked to one into the breeze this quarter. They didn't kick any with it in that third quarter, which really cost them any chance in this game. Pfeiffer with a tap down. Smith again. Tackles there. The Launceston player in Gillow. So another opportunity. Umpire Wright throws it up. Pfeiffer. Gillow. Look away handball there to Presnell on the left foot. Kicks close to the boundary line. Leading out well is Wilkinson. Well up the ground. So they're streaming forward now, the Blues attacking players. Here looking for Hyatt. Hits him on the chest. Great delivery, Wilkinson. One of the best on the ground today. Here's Hyatt now. Runs his full measure inside 50. But falls in the lap there of Charlesworth, who takes a mark in defensive 50.
Yeah, I'd like to look at Charlesworth.
Young captain, we'd like to see that. He's a bit of dash here off half-back.
Kicks up, looking for Alexander, can't take the mark. Ball's going to come back pretty quickly over Charlesworth's head if they can get a kick here. Going to be a free kick somewhere. The umpire at the south attacking end has paid a free kick, and it is going to go to Charlesworth again. Umpire Wright saw something. Here's Dawkins, close to the boundary line.
So a good last quarter, Max Dawkins.
Can't get much closer. Max Dawkins goes inboard. Markey should have taken Tom Graham. That's just tiredness. And it's going to be a ball up on centre wing. 28 minutes gone now. It's a 69-point lead to the Launceston Blues up here at Youngtown. The Suns by 28 at the Barossa and Carlton by 36.
As Wharton escapes from the contest there, kicks towards half forward. Almost a mark there to Summers. Taken though by Hyatt. Kick to a one-on-one. Off hands, Woodcock-Davis. Tackled from behind.
Just little things though. You talk about your defensive structures at one end there. You had Summers on the opponent. What Woodcock-Davis had to do was just come over and be the third man up and take an easy mark. But Summers needs to just hold his opponent out. You look at this end, Morris and Boyd and all them down there, McCormack, have done that all day, worked together. Kick
inside 50, the dangerous Hyatt gets it on the bounce. Snaps on goal. Just offline. 13-22-100 to 4-6-30. 13-22-100. That's what Hawthorn scored in the 1978 grand final. There you go. There's some trivia to make it. 13-22-100. Impressed that I know that?
Which
1978 grand final against North Melbourne.
Right.
Look it up later.
Would have been one.
Groobs will confirm it. Hawthorn supporter. Kicks outside 50. Over the back. Mark taken there by Tom Graham.
Why do you know that? Just because it's an obscure score?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Every time I see it, I just remember it.
Do you see it lots?
Yes.
13-22?
Oh, no, not lots, but when I do see it, I recognise it. Anyway, Tom Graham kicks towards the wing. Leading out and taking the mark there is Alex Towns. Kick up the wing. Mark there. It's Morris once again. Lockie Morris. Tackle there late in the centre of the ground. Handball off. Boyd's got it. Kicks inside 50. One-on-one. Hyatt! Oh, what a mark. From behind. He set himself for that one. And tacked the ball with fury. Took a beautiful mark. Ben Hyatt.
There's been some nice little highlights in the last 10 minutes or so.
It has been. Jacob Boyd there, that run off half-back once again.
Started with Morris. Here he comes off now. Zach Morris.
I think I called him Lockie Morris before.
Oh, Lockie, I like that.
Yep.
Played in the...
his younger brother.
Early, yes.
Here we go now with Hyatt. Awkward shot for goal, but I think he's done it pretty well. Umpire says yes, 6 points to Ben Hyatt. 14-22, 106 to 4-6-30. That is his second goal of the day. A lovely mark, wasn't it, Mac? He just set himself for that one and took it nicely. It's a skill as a small forward that's underrated, the ability to take a grab as well.
Yep.
Not just rely on the crafty goals. Now to mark overhead.
We're going to put it up, are we?
14-22, 106. Oh, Rick.
14-22, 106.
Lucky we got it. Lucky we were here.
Cheapest.
No, he's done a great job today, Rick Castell. 4 games today. It's no mean effort. He's got one more to come.
I'll tell you a famous score in a moment, Foz.
Okay, as Bailey Gillow hits it inside 50. Once again, Hyatt nearly took an overhead mark. He follows it up. He takes it. He's tackled from behind. Releases the handball towards Wheeler. But good defence there from the Bulldogs. That sees it out of bounds.
Mick Malthouse's debut game for Carlton in 2013.
As a coach, of course.
As coach.
Yes.
The Tigers kicked 14-22, 106.
Okay.
So there you go.
Well, it's moved on now. It's 14.
Yeah, I know, but that's unbelievable.
It
Their
is.
scores.
It is. Mark comes out here towards Alex Towns.
It's like I'm in a Beautiful Mind movie with the mathematician here, Grooves.
Towns finds Dawkins. Caught one there in the midriff. The handball's off straight away to Towns. Little kick forward there wasn't great. Falls to Jeffries. Kick there from Kruger. But now it's with Avery Thomas who kicks inside 50. Wilkinson! Big fly, couldn't take it. Off the pack there is Woodcock-Davis.
Woodcock-Davis goes out wide. Finds his teammate in Lucas on the far wing. As Rick Costello, the great man, puts the finger on the button. Can't be long left. There it is! The first game of the 2025 NTFA Premier League. The new dawn of football in the state and in particular in the north. And it's a commanding victory after quarter time especially. Launceston 14-23, 107. Defeats South Launceston 4-6-30. Dave Moore.
Yeah, great performance there from Launceston. As you said, the Bulldogs were really impressive in that first quarter. And they attacked themselves with the wind. They probably could have kicked a couple more goals, and they defended stoutly, but Launceston, from the early stage of the second quarter, really took control of the game. South battled it out, of course, and they've got some fine young players there who really benefit from today's experience. But too strong, the Launceston Blues, and we'll get a bit of a word in a moment from one of their players. We've got the two boundary riders out there to grab somebody. These players shake hands. And it's always good to see that sportsmanship post-game. Macca, goal kickers.
13. I think I've missed one somewhere, Foz. 3. Give me a second.
I don't think Grubbs was doing the backups today either.
13. I've missed one. We'll have to find it. Okay. Oh, no. I know which one it is. The great goal from Lenny Faulkner.
Yep.
Righto. So 4 to Wilkinson, 3 to Jake Hines, 2 to Ben Hyatt, and then singles to Angus Jeffries, Lenny Faulkner, Jaden Hines, Brodie Polferman, and Lockie Plunkett. And for South Launceston, there was 4, all singles: Logan Smith, Sam Lucas, Hunter Farrelly, and Toby Morrison.
Okay, Grubbs, we might just grab some of your stats, and I'll interrupt you if I see Tony with a player to talk to. Away you go.
Pretty dominant performance by Launceston today. Hit out 64 to South Launceston 20. Clearances, Launceston 56, South Launceston 28. Inside 50s, Launceston 68 to South Launceston 36, and Launceston had 23 inside 50s to 6 in the last quarter. Marks inside 50, 14 for Launceston, 7 for South Launceston.
Grubbs, we'll continue in a moment because I think Tony's got Dylan Farquhar in the centre circles.
I have indeed. Welcome to City Park Radio, Dylan, and a great debut for you for Launceston.
Yeah, it was a good win. Slow start, but good to slowly build on it and get home in the end.
Yeah. In terms of your own game, first quarter, your opponents seemed to have a fairly good quarter. They had the win, of course, but you seem to have really taken over in the last 3 quarters with your ruck work. Some of the taps were really, really good. Really impressive boys upstairs anyway. How did you feel about it all?
Yeah, I thought it was good, but you know, the taps don't look good without the midfielders. I thought the midfielders are way better than me today. But yeah, it's just, I don't know, I just put it there and they just go and get it, so it makes me look good, I guess.
That's sort of how it works with the ruck work, really. But there were a few times where there seemed to be some sort of set plays coming to part, particularly when you're sort of heading to the side where there was only the one player as opposed to the 2 on the other.
Yeah, we've worked really hard on our mid stoppages and around the ground stoppages through the pre-season, so it's all sort of just starting to come together. So.
And speaking of pre-season, I'm told you put a big pre-season in, lost a little bit of weight, and you've got a fair bit of fitness.
Yeah, that was a couple of pre-seasons ago. I got myself pretty fit, and I've slowly just been building on that. But no, we've all worked pretty hard this pre-season, so I'm just really keen to get into it.
Great. Well, congratulations on the game. Hope you have a really good season. Thanks for talking to us at City Park.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Thanks, Tony, down there with Dylan Farquhar post-game. It's pretty windy out there. You can probably hear it in our effects mic, but a great game from Dylan. Great debut. Now, Mac is just writing out a few best players, but Grubbs, we interrupted you there, so keep on going there with your team stats.
Last couple, just intercept marks. 29 taken by Launceston to South Launceston 14. And South Launceston had 24 free kicks to Launceston 16.
Thank you very much, Dave Gruber. So, yeah, we saw that inside 50 stat in that last quarter. They were just totally dominant, Macca, and had most of the play. And probably should have kicked a few more goals than they did in that last quarter with, as Gruber said, 23 entries to 6.
Yeah, well, you know, you're inside 50s, your intercept marks at the other end of the ground, and then just the supply of football with your midfielders like Polfram and Wooten in through the middle of the ground there. Bailey Gillow got better as the game went on. So just an abundance of football at both ends. South Launceston,
before we go on, Chris, you might have something for us?
Yeah, Brendan Taylor's on his way to hospital to get his broken nose fixed.
Okay, that's no good at all. So thank you for that, Chris. And thank you, boys on the boundary, for your efforts today. No worries. Macca,
South Launceston battled hard, especially early. Always thought that a couple of goals early probably wasn't enough with that sort of 4 or 5 goal breeze at least early in the game. There and then it was really just floodgates open. They couldn't do anything in the third quarter. It was a really lowly quarter from both teams. Really, not much went on, and then as you said, it could have been a lot more if Launceston had kicked straighter in the last quarter. But you can see even at the end though, South London, they were still running okay. I mentioned a few times, changed the direction of the footy. Every kick out they would have had 23 kick-outs. 20 of them went to that. Over there to the Gumtree. And that's okay if you're 5 goals up and you're trying to hold a lead.
Yep.
Just try something different. Get a bit of spark in your game. I just thought they went just a bit pedestrian when they were getting beat. rather than just keep trying to take the game on like they did in the first quarter. And look,
Might get some better players.
Yeah.
Now, the City Park Radio Player of the Year is coming back because we're going to cover teams fairly evenly through the year.
Righto.
So make sure you do it really well. Max is listening.
Max Walker medal.
Yes.
Look, for South Launceston, just the abundance of football that was in the back line. It was probably they probably got the most of the footies. Ollie Woodcock-Davis, Charlesworth. I thought Holt and Graham were good early, especially. Graham probably got a bit tired towards the end. Logan Smith, I like the look of. Charlesworth, I like the look of. Brendan Taylor, battled hard. Page got some really good fists in early. But their forward struggled, probably because of the way the ball came in, to be honest. But there's enough there, the young kids, and they'll get a couple back. Foon will come back, Cocker will come back, premiership players.
And maybe Jay Blackberry?
Maybe Jay Blackberry, yeah, who knows. Interesting that he was runner today. For Launceston, it was all about those midfielders, really, and in the end, it was the Jake Hineses and Archie Wilkinsons that got on the end of that midfield dominance. Polframan, Wootton, in the midfield especially, through the supply of Dylan Farquhar that we just heard from then. But it was just really the Zach Morris show, to be honest. I don't know if you're going to get the stats off the boys, but see if they've emailed you to them, Foz. Zachy Morris was amazing. How many intercept marks did they get, Groves? He packed them up. Lots. Lots of intercept marks. Groves is down the pen. Zach Morris, Boyd especially early, and then up forward Wilkinson. Avery Thomas did enough, didn't he, just to show us what he was doing. But, look, they're going to be a good side, Launceston.
Wooten, 36 possessions. Polframan, 35.
Yep.
Morris, 32.
There we go. How many marks? Give me a look here. You can't find it. Marks to Zach Morris was 17.
Yes.
17 marks to Morris, 11 marks to